Key giveaway. Getting ready for phase 3. Key ticket Pokemon. Pokemon. There's something else I was had to put in there, wasn't there? I probably should add more information on the key, I reckon. Lessons for next time. Actually, I probably need... Where's my notepad? I have a notepad to keep notes. I guess that's what notepads are for. Looks like I'm using this piece of paper. What is this piece of paper for? Yes. I remember you. Where I'll put that? I'll put that there for now. Where's my pen? There's my pen. All right. Let's get cracking. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Another night of Ashes of Creation. Savage! I can't prepare. Savage, all you need to do is spend your points. All you do. So I've got the giveaway capped at 1,000 entries. It's 250 points per entry. If you do exclamation mark points, I think it is point or points. I assume it's points, exclamation mark points. It'll tell you how many points you've got. And see how many tickets you can buy. No, you got to add the S. Add the S. I was wrong. That was my fault. Hey, 5,740 points. So how many points you can buy? 20 points. Tickets. Is that 20? 20 shy of 23, I think that is. Am I wrong? I could be wrong. So exclamation mark ticket space 23. But you're 198 on the leaderboard. Not bad. Not bad. It's because if you spend points, you end up getting pushed down. Yeah, you get screwed that way. But once the giveaway's gone, I can clear the giveaways and give you points back. But Savage, we're gonna have to get you in here eventually, my friend. Look, last time I bought 100 and the giveaway was banned. Did you end up winning? Because I ended up giving away that I did give those things away. Actually, that's one thing I need to look at. That's one thing you need to look at. So I've got to look at countdown timers. Do Twitch allow countdown timers? That's that one. And giveaways. Because that's where I think I went wrong. I had a countdown timer on and I had a giveaway running at the same time. But the giveaway was one where you accumulate points to enter the giveaway. So I think you could almost have a no-no, but we'll see if that was it. You won nothing? Savage. You can't give up, mate. You cannot give up. You cannot give up. Well, today, actually, I need to change. Huge news, actually. I need to change. I completely forgot about this. I was going to do this today. Where's OBS gone? So I've got massive news today. I'll put it right here. Hey! Savage! Thanks, buddy. For 5 months. Savage giveaway user points for me. Good one. No, thanks, Savage. You're a legend, my friend. You are a legend. Key giveaway. Oh, huge news. I can't say the news yet, but there is huge news. And I'm updating my description. Huge news. I found this today and I was spun out. And I don't know if we caused it yesterday or it's just by coincidence, but I've got some big news. So what is it? You subscribed for 2 months for tier 1. They've been subscribed. Oh, you've been subscribed for 5 months. Oh, use points for me. Now I can read it. Don't worry. It wasn't coming up on my, what do they call this? Ground control. But we've got it. Head over to this one. Make sure you're working. Excellent. All right. We're good to go. So tonight again, we're going to carry on. Figure out what we need to know about Ashes of the Creation. A lot of work has been happening behind the scenes and guild wise. So I've got a guild. So if you didn't know, if you're new, we've got a guild. So we're making sure we get ready for that. We're forging alliances, so we get alliances across the board. So we'll see how they go, and then obviously some leveling tactics. Is this how I get tickets? Yes, but if you do !ticket and then space and then type 20, you can buy more tickets. So how much? So if you got 6,740 points, let me do the calculation for you, so you don't have to. So 6,740 divided by 250, you can buy 26 tickets. Yeah, so you can buy 26. So you got another, 5 left. Hey, Jake Flakes, how you going, buddy? So that we are doing a giveaway for Ashes of Creation. We are doing a giveaway for Ashes of Creation. I probably need to make that a little bit clearer. No S. If you want to get into the draw to win a copy of Ashes of Creation, all you have to do is type !ticket, and that will buy you a key into the draw. But each ticket's worth 200. Oh shit! I need to change that. It's actually 250. 250 points. So you spend those points to buy more tickets in the draw, and then the night before Ashes of Creation, we'll do the giveaway. But we're probably going to do a few giveaways. So we'll probably do a giveaway at the end of this week, a giveaway at the start of Ashes, giveaway during Ashes, a week after that, and that will give everyone opportunities to get in Ashes of Creation, get the hype going, and see if we can get Ashes of Creation absolutely pumping for Phase 3, because I'm excited for Phase 3. I think Phase 3 is going to be massive. It's going to be huge. Hey, Captain! So it's just !ticket will get you in the draw. Now, how many days we got left? We've got 7 days, 7 hours and 33 minutes until we can get into Ashes of Creation. 27 tickets. Not bad, Savage. So the cap is 1,000. The cap is 1,000. So before we get to the big news, I'm going to I'll wait till I'll give it half an hour till we get a few people coming in, because the news that I've got tonight definitely comes from last night's stream. Now, something has changed between last night and today that wasn't announced, but because we were covering it, just by coincidence, I read it again today. I was like, that has completely changed. That's completely different to what we saw yesterday. So I'll bring that up a little bit later. But first of all, we need to catch up. Last night, we looked at the economy and the stats. Economy and stats, amazing. Very happy where that's sitting. I was jumping in the PTR chat today. Noticed there's a lot of people with their names saying, what are they saying? Something about, I can bring it over here because it's not on stream. If I go to Discord and I go to Ashes of Creation, PTR chat. Oh, fix PvP. So there's a lot of people, I would say a lot. I think it's more the loud people. They're more loud people saying they're putting fixed PvP in front of their names. And so I tried to get a bit of understanding. Okay, so what's wrong with the PvP? And from my perspective and opinion, hey, Scottish, from my perspective, where they're not liking the PvP is, it's not that the mechanics have changed. I think they don't like that the PvP has sort of been taken away from them. Some of them want to use CC on PvE players. So if you're over there mining a rock, they don't like that they've taken away that you can't put someone to sleep, for example. Which, in my opinion, you're just being a pest. At the end of the day, it's not fun for anybody. Except for the guy putting you to sleep. He probably thinks it's hilarious. They're saying, oh, but that's what entices PvP. But the people farming the rock, they're minding their own business. They're not there to PvP. They're just going to walk away. So I think they're not happy that's been taken away. And in some of their areas, they find too small for PvP. And so it's more, I think the people that are hardcore PvPers, I think they're annoyed that they've taken the ability away of just fighting anyone. So you can still fight anyone, but you become corrupted. And level 1 corrupted means if you get killed, you'll drop stuff straight away. So there's definitely that. And I can understand from their side, but when you try and balance a game between PvE and PvP players, and PvX, I would say I'd put myself in the realm of PvX. You go out there, you do your bits and pieces, and when it's time for PvP, it's time for PvP. But some of the PvPs, they just go out there looking for PvP. And people aren't necessarily sitting there waiting for it. They need to adapt a system like June. as in the deep desert, Savage. See, I'm not a big. I actually do not like the PvP in June. I feel like June, they didn't really think that one through. But have an abundance of materials in PvP. Yeah, okay, that part I don't mind. That part I don't mind. Yeah, I agree with you there. As long as you have the ability to do both, but it's a risk versus reward. So if you're going to be more risky, you get more reward. But I think it's more that risk is if you die in PvE in Ash of the Creation, you have the XP debt, and no one wants an XP debt. Yeah, and then you lose all your glint and stuff as well. If you don't want to get pested in PvP and you solo, you don't have to look over your shoulder. Yeah, well, that's a problem because it's all right to have PvP, but majority of the time, the people that are looking for PvP don't go out by themselves looking for PvP. They need to go get their group of 4, 5, 6 of yous, 6 of them, and then they'll go looking for PvP. No matter who you are, where you are, what you're doing, they just see it as an opportunity to kill somebody. So I think that's the issue. So to balance the game between PvE and PvP, to have that, you just can't have that random encounter of PvP, I think. So I get it. I get it from both sides. Completely get it. But unfortunately, you'll ruin the game for a lot of people if the CC stayed on for PvE players, for example. I don't think it would do the game any justice. If you want the risk, then organize a party with someone to assist, like in June Deep Desert. Yes, so yeah, true. So you can prepare yourself to go take that risk. Well, at the moment, you essentially, if you're a solo player, how do you prepare to take the risk if you're always getting smacked? June literally had this problem, and that was to fix small locations in PvE area to grab some of the mats only available in Deep Desert. I still don't think they had enough there, Savage. So, for example, Spice. I feel like Spice was few and far between on the PvE side. And then when you went to the PvP side, we're just getting ganked constantly. The people literally would sit there in the deep desert for hours, waiting for people just to come get some Spice. It's enough if you're a solo player, you reckon? Yeah, I think June for me, the PvP in June for me, and that end game loop sort of killed it. But we're not talking about June. We're talking about Ashes of the Creation. Ashes of the Creation is the #1 game coming out this week, next week, that we'll be playing. But we've got a lot to learn. So we've got Ashes of the Creation. We know about the anvils. As much as we know can about the anvils, this is more about lore that come up. We know about the pocket dungeons and so forth. My mistake. No, you're fine, Savage. You're fine. But I get you. Look, I think every MMO's got that issue. Hey, Hyundai, how you going, buddy? Yeah, every MMO is always. There's never going to be a perfect scenario for PvE and PvP type play style. And I guess that's where the friction comes in. And you always need a bit of friction. It makes things interesting. As long as you can overcome the friction. I think that's the thing. If the friction is constantly there, the friction's always smacking you in the back of the head, that's when it's not enjoyable and people go, I'm not playing this game anymore. So as long as there's something you can overcome and get satisfaction from, great. But if you can't overcome it and you get smacked every time, then why bother? So what do we have? So we had the anvils. We had the crate system. So we did go through the crate system last night. So the crate system seems pretty straightforward. The only thing we need to do is to figure out how long or how much do you get from the crate system. Well, I can go jump in to PTR and do a sneaky crate run and figure out what that's going to entail. And then we did go through the path of Alpha 2 Phase 3. So we did go through all of this. We know when it's going to pop. Went through all the Q&A, all the FAQs. And then we had the new races join the fight for Vera. And where's my... Oh, did I not grab a drink before I started this? That's an amateur move. So the launch of Alpha 2 Phase 3 on August 4th, which was 2 weeks ago, introduces the Pyrite and then the Cow, with the Renkai arriving in subsequent updates. So hopefully they actually, it doesn't say, it probably will be later, but they do look pretty cool. They do look pretty cool. I did create a character in the PTR. And ancient forests whisper a new alliances. The tropical shores echo the songs of distant mountains. And the mountain strongholds resound, blah, blah, blah. Is this all lore? It is. I think it is all lore. So Pyrite, looking good. How good if the graphics look like that in-game? That'd be amazing. And Nikau, they look pretty good. I do like them. Oh, and then the Renkai. Now, the Renkai looks a bit more like, look, these do look cartoons, but the Renkai to me looks more cartoonish. But I think we're going to see a few Renkai. They will definitely be popping up here and there. I reckon it would be nice if they were huge. If you're running around, it's like, whoa, look at the size of this guy. So that's the lore of them. And then Astral Creation Phase 2 Gleam giveaway. The countdown to Phase 3. The last push, before Phase 3. Look, it was close. It was close. Just seeing if there's any news on here. No news on this one. Hey, Rob Brum. Are they still saying October for this Summoner class? They still are, my friend. They still are. So we've gone through what we've done. We've gone through all the information we've got online from a news perspective. And October still seems to be the way. So I think what we're going to be doing tonight is probably going back through the developer updates. So we did the crate last night. The anvils. Did we do the anvils? I can't remember if we did the anvils last night. So we'll go do the anvils if we haven't. And then we'll see what the updates there are. They'll potentially go to the forums. DK Max, good morning, my friend. Good morning. So we'll go through there. We'll check them out. We've potentially touched the forums. So we'll go hit the forums because we've gone all through the news. See what's been updated there. See what discussions have been happening. And then we've got the videos, the forums, and then the codex. So just touching base with the codex team. And they were saying they're going to definitely be having this updated for the for launch. So I'm making sure we have this pretty much on standby as we're waiting for the game to drop. I have this on the side screen because, as you know, the gear in this is amazing. And if you can have your gear set and ready for what you're chasing, then I think that's always going to be a winner. I played in the beta, but life things got in the way to get really stuck into it. Well, what about this one, DK Max? What do you reckon? Do you reckon you can get a Phase 3 happening? Not played for about 4 months. Can't decide if I jump back in or wait for Summoner. Rob, so I was similar. I haven't played for a while. Jump in and here, just see if anything changes. Played with the PTR. So the last jump in, I didn't even finish. So 2.5, I didn't even finish my class. I got up to level 17. We'll give it a go. Beautiful. Are you going to join us, DK Max? That's the question. But definitely, it's definitely worth jumping in. Waiting for the Summoner class. We'll actually have someone in the guild as well that said they're going to wait for the Summoner class. But I think it's one of those things that if you jump in on day one, there's nothing like experiencing day one. Experiencing day one is always the best. Like just people running around, running amok, experiencing life, chasing kills. I think that's the best. Oh, DK Max, almost. So how many we got? How many got? So I'll give you the update now, and I'll let everyone know later because I can't hold it in. Yeah, day one's the best. So last night when we were streaming, we were going through EverQuest. Oh, that would have been a good day, DK Max. Don't make me jealous. I hate missing day ones of games. Day ones they're my number one thing. Love them. So now one thing I want to show you, and I'll go back here. Now, last night we were going through the economy and stats, and we're getting really excited for the economy and stats. I'll scroll down to, is it this section? This section. But last night, so I've got Twitch up. This is the stream from last night. Let me just make it a bit bigger so my head's not in the way. So last night when we're going through this, there's a very important part around drops and vendors and quest rewards, right? It said, in general, roughly 4 hours of mob grinding should yield comparable gear progression to 4 hours of crafting, depending, of course, on player knowledge and skill. So last night, this was last night, 24 hours or less than 24 hours ago. Roughly 4 hours of mob grinding should yield comparable gear progression to 4 hours of crafting. So it's like, from what we read last night, it was like for like. Now, I don't know why, but I jumped back in it today to read up on something real quick. If you go to the website now, they've completely changed this sentence. The sentence has changed completely. So from the 4 hours is like for like. Oh, sorry, Grimbringer. I've got you sorted, buddy. So speaking, here it goes. So remember, so here's where it's highlighted in blue. It was the 4 hours to 4 hours. They've changed it to keep crafting at the center of gear progression. Gear drop rates from enemies have been substantially lowered. In general, players can expect that roughly 1 hour of crafting will yield comparable progression to about 7 hours of mob grinding, though outcomes will still depend on player knowledge and skill. This ensures that crafted gear is highly valuable and remains the primary path to power. So that is huge. So from crafting and grinding mobs like to now 1 hour of crafting is 7 hours, not several hours, about 7 hours. So that is huge. It was the one that really put MMOs on the radar. Good day one was Star Wars Galaxies. Oh, well, see, I jumped in EverQuest 2 not too long ago, DK Max, and that I enjoyed it. I was surprised that didn't take off as much as it could have. Day one in WoW was crazy for me. I was in the Iraq War, literally gaming of really, Juddy, in a war and gaming, doing WoW. That would have been wild. The big one for me, New World was a big one that I really enjoyed. Jumping in, people just going through and smacking everything, level 1 on the beach. And then the last one, the big one that I enjoyed, was World of Warcraft, Seasons of Discovery. That was good. Because they didn't put the was it the zones? The layers. They didn't have the layers turned on. So everyone was in the same layer. There were hundreds, thousands almost, people everywhere spawning on top of each other. You couldn't get a hit in anywhere. So they watch your stream. So I don't know, Ferdy. That's what I'm saying. Is it a coincidence? I don't know. But either way, from what we said was important, the 4 hours by 4 hours compared to now that 1 hour of crafting will yield comparable progression to about 7 hours of mob grinding. That is crazy. Players can expect that roughly 1 hour of crafting will yield comparable progression to about 7 hours of mob grinding. So are you saying that's gathering and crafting at the same time could potentially be better than 7 hours of mob grinding? That's fair. Crafting should always lead over mob grinding. Yeah, I like a balance. But I agree that it should tip over just a little bit more. But will it increase when you're fighting for resources? The resources are everywhere, but at the same token, you are right, depending on how many people are in that area, for sure. It's not included gathering time, though. Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking, Rob. I'm thinking, is that including gathering time or not? So you could really pump someone up, which, if that is correct, you could really pump someone up. Considering they've changed it to this, specifically this, and the fact that they said 7, is it several hours or 7? Because they've got 7, and 7 hours is massive. And when I played PTR the other day, I was hitting trees, and I didn't do any crafting. 0 crafting. I hit level 10 in the same day. So it was about 12 hours of just hitting trees, on and off. But we were able to hit level 10. So it's going to be interesting. Scottish Arcade, you loved Arcade, did you? First hour of crafting. I guess that's not. Oh, sorry. I'm reading it backwards. I did a video on YouTube recently. The top 10 games that are still alive today, 20 years later. 20 years later. So if you're interested to know what top 10 games I put in. So MMOs older than 20 years, MMOs that are older than 20 years that are still alive and being played today. Yeah, they'll put that on YouTube if you want to check out what those 10 are. Warhammer MMO had potential, but they never got the PvP right. DK Max, I've actually never gone back to go find that Warhammer game, which I need to do one day. You haven't noticed these changes? You guys have been playing big games behind our backs. True. Dark Age of Camelot is in that list. It is, DK Max. It is in that list. I think crafting should yield good rewards, but not equivalent of grinding. Should be about 25% more time to level from tradecraft than from grinding. It depends what the grind is. And did the fix change the material spawns? Yes. Where people were camping legendary spawns, yeah, no, there's the materials in PTR, Rob, they're everywhere. Like when you first start, you need to get to level 10 and you have to have a ruby to be able to create a guild. Rubies were everywhere. Like I couldn't sit. I didn't have enough room in my bags to collect the number of rubies up on the ground. Now, look, Harrow, it's true. There definitely needs to be a balance, and it definitely is based on how you play. Aeon's not in that list, Savage. I don't think Aeon fit 20-plus years when I put that one in there, but definitely wasn't on the list. Hey, Cyril, good luck. Scottish, good luck. But, yeah, no, I think for this comment here to change from equivalent, from mob grinding to crafting to this, players can expect that roughly 1 hour of crafting will yield comparable progression to about 7 hours of mob grinding. That's hard to say. If you say comparable progression, because when you're crafting, you're not really crafting. You just put the stuff on the benches, and the benches will tell you it takes 50 minutes. Was it 50 minutes by memory? So all you need is enough. What type of crafting are they talking about? Not PTR is, but not the live version. Alpha phase 2 is not. Yes. So Harrow. So if you go in now, you can download the game and you can play the PTR right now. PTR is open for everyone that has the game. So 100% you can get in and you can go test some of these things and play around. So right now I can confirm. Just checking right now. So they're currently testing things to focus on, archetype abilities. So making sure the abilities work, like tank grapple. Artisan ships. So they're currently testing artisan ship in the PTR right now. And yeah, they seem to be the main focuses at the moment. So good. So that you can definitely do that. It's good things. Good things coming. PTR for key holders. Yes, anyone that gets a key now can get into PTR. So the live version. Crafting usually take a few secs. It's the processing time, minutes and hours, depending on the stack you're processing. Yes, that's what. Oh, so is that where you think? So Triple Killer, I don't know if you heard, but they literally changed this sentence they've highlighted in blue. They've changed this overnight from what we read yesterday. So from what we read yesterday to, because I've got the stream up, because when I saw this today, what did it say? So yesterday, it was roughly 4 hours of mob grinding should yield comparable gear progression to 4 hours of crafting, depending, of course, player knowledge. So that's what it was said yesterday, right? And then today, the website has completely changed to gear drop rates from enemies have been substantially lowered. In general, players can expect that roughly 1 hour of crafting will yield comparable progression to about 7 hours of mob grinding. So very, very interesting to see how that one works. I'm there, dude. Buying right now. I've been playing MMO since 1999. I want to give them my opinion. Oh, legend. You give them, you tell them, Harrow. You tell them. Now, for me, DAOC was the only MMO that got PvP, right? 3 realms. If one got too big, the other 2 ganged up on the balance. Well, I never really got into Dark Age of Camelot. There's too many games to play. But I have heard and have seen many videos in regard to the PvP. To this day, they're still smashing it out. It doesn't look amazing, but yeah, you are right. They've actually got that down pat. And I do like that the other ones can gang up on the one that's that fighting. So it definitely does change the game for sure. That's what they were meant to do for June Awakening, wasn't it? They were meant to do that. They're meant to be bringing that third class. I guess they haven't seen it yet. Or right at my age. See, I didn't get into MMOs until, because I was playing when I was younger. I think my first multiplayer game was Counter-Strike 1.6, and I got stuck on that for a long time. Well, I didn't touch MMOs until I touched WoW, I think it was. And it's needing 800 different mats to make all the components for craft. Well, that's what I'm thinking. Do you think processing... See, it says an hour of crafting. Do you think it's the craft itself or the processing as well? Final Fantasy 11. That's also on my list, Savage. That is also on my list of top 10 games. I do, Harrow. I do. Where is it up? It's up in... It's in the chat. Hang on. Let me go grab it for you. Post. It pops up every 10 minutes. Where is it? Where is the referral code gone? There it is. There's a link further up. Paste. Yeah, if you can go to that link and you can buy Ash of the Creation, or you can just use that big ass number on the end. Oh, don't worry about it, Harrow. It's not a requirement. I'm here for free. but appreciate it at the same time. Hey, there we go. Thanks, mate. So that was a big update. I'll tell everyone later once that when they get back on, because I'm sure there's definitely a different audience in 2 hours' time. But yeah, I think that was the big one. I thought that was huge. That was massive news compared to what we said last night. Yes. And then there are the other bits and pieces. So I was talking to... Where are we? Let me just go find it. So I was talking to Tacken. So the guy that creates, who builds out this page for Ash's Codex, and they were definitely saying that they're going to be adding a lot more things. They haven't been updating many things just because it's mainly PTR, and keeping up with the PTR updates was just too much headache. So it's like, all right, we'll just leave it as it is, and then for phase 3, they'll smash out. There'll be a lot more updates coming to this, so we'll be able to see this compares coming as well. So hopefully we'll be able to compare between items. There's nothing better than being able to go, okay, what's better than an iron ring or a copper ring, for example. I do think the post on the site is taking gathering or processing into account. So you spent a week gathering all the stuff, getting XP over time, but the craft itself will give XP for about 6 hours of mob grinding. Oh, you don't think the post on the site is taking gathering and processing into account? I think we might have to go find out and get some clarity. What do you reckon, Triple Killer? Definitely need to get some clarity on that one, because it's definitely open for interpretation. Definitely open for interpretation. But what I understand from the post, regardless of how long it takes to do one or the other, the big one is this ensures that crafted gear is highly valuable and remains the primary path to power. So from a leveling perspective, you might be higher leveled, but what I think they're trying to say is if you want good gear, your crafters need to do it. And if they've balanced that out and they've got that right, that I like, because then it puts the crafters in a place of being valuable. There's nothing better than being able to say, oh, I crafted this and I did this. The only reason this person's got the gears because that person went and took the tedious path of actually getting to where they needed to be. So I think that I'm going to enjoy this. So there's going to be a lot of crafters out there that are going to really thoroughly, highly enjoy that comment. Well, yes and no, Triple Killer. Yes and no. Because is it not low already? So, for example, if you go grind, and everyone would go to highway because they felt like that was the higher drop rate. But I felt like it wasn't great already. So I don't know if you needed to drop the gear. But at the same time, I get it. We'll see how it works. But as you can see, they've substantially lowered it. Gear drop rates from enemies have been substantially lowered. So it's definitely going to change. It's going to change the way the game plays. So are we going to go grind Highwayman again? Is that the question? Are we going to stop grinding Highwayman and doing other things? So, for example, are quests going to be more viable than grinding? Is grinding not going to be a thing at all? Do you grind other drop? Do you still get drops, but you just don't get the rare drops? You know, there's so many different questions wrapped up in bloody 2 sentences. I'm more of a caster fan. I played a lot of the tanks and healers in my MMO journey, so I'm going to the caster route now. Very nice. Yeah, no, I've been doing tank because there's not a lot of tanks in Ashes of the Creation, so that's what I go tank. But a lot of people do like the cleric. They like the bard. They like the mage. They work well. They work really well. They think POI and mob grinding is supposed to be something to do to gain XP. Yeah, I think you're right. I'm looking forward to the POIs as well. Not to get XP and the gear. Yeah, true. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Hey, Lord Scar, my friend, how are we? Lord Scar, you'd love this PvE update. Love the PvE update. Let me just see what we've got going on over here. So what we need to do, I'll move this bloody mouse out of the way. Sorry. So I'm updating the editor at the same time. He's asking me how many shorts would he like to create. Would I like him to create? Azura, you play Ashes since when? Azura, I've been playing Ashes since October last year, I think it was. Yeah, 26 is going to be a good triple killer. It's going to be good. Good Lord Scar. They already got building in the game. No building, but lots of crafting. So you do chopping trees, mining nodes, copper, ruby. Like the materials is very broad, and you have to go explore to get those materials. Once you got those materials, then you can go back and you can craft. I was going to say, yeah, no, we've got it. So I think moving forward from here, I do want to know quests. I think this was the one. Or do we want to know more about anvils?
To kind of support providing more information to players.
So let's open up this bad boy. This was the node system that he was talking through. We had new races that we know about. I think the anvils, expectation leading up to phase 3. New races, econ stat changes, which was spoken to. The crate system that we've touched on. Nodes, PvP, and guild systems. We're going to go, let's go to the expectations, and then we're going to go to the node. Just see if there's anything we've missed on the nodes and expectations, because then we're going to hit node, PvP, and guild systems. So you understand what that is. Oh, nice. Thanks, mate. Use referral. Try again, man. Hopefully I'll be in game in about an hour or two. Lovely. Harrow, the next thing you have to do, so if anyone wants to, join the Discord, either the link below or it's popped up in chat. jump in the Discord, join the guild, and mate, you can join us on the 26th because we'll be smashing it. I actually got the whole week off, so I'll be smashing it from the 26th. Ashley Creation Apocalypse. I never got to see that one. The combat. You played the combat test. Oh, that's a long time ago, DK Max. That's a very long time ago because I read the notes, but many others that backed the Kickstart did. Yeah, I never got to see that. I still continue to build in packs. Love it. Love it. All right, let's go.
Now we drop the expectations leading up to phase 3. Let's move on to that.
So I would love to preface this to a degree. This is just to be clear, we are a work in progress right now towards
DK
our
Max.
phase 3
Welcome.
development. Anytime you develop something new in software, it can come with bugs. It can come with unexpected.
Maybe we don't need expectations.
Issues that
I know
you
exactly
did not
what he's gonna say.
anticipate. You can normal progression for a game. The PTR is on a per instance basis. We're going to be wiping that thing left and right. You're going to be logging
I'm old
in
and I like games.
in order to specifically hone in on key systems and features and content that we want you to test for that day.
Yeah, no,
or
we don't need
potentially
that.
for
We don't
those
need that. So we're going to go
couple of days.
straight to
And then
we're
it's
going to
gonna
go
wipe
straight
it.
to
Along with
the
those
anvils.
wipes, we're going to move on to the anvils and population goodness that we were working through.
Margaret always has a different background. Like there's always
the
something
anvils,
new
there's
behind her.
so much. So we have a beautiful little work in progress video that you're probably
still
seeing
have
on
an
the
army?
screen. Kyle did a good job capturing. The team has been working very hard on creating a bunch of assets. You're going to see a bunch of concepts of the Dunzenkill runes and the work that's going into that. Obviously, very much work in progress.
How long does this part go for?
Beautiful though.
It is a big work in progress.
minutes.
You
Yes.
guys are seeing obviously
We'll
the
see how 10 minutes
verticality
go.
here, but there is a lot left to do within
It
this
does.
zone over the
If you've
coming
seen
month.
the anvils, it does look nice.
And really,
I
during that
am a
period of
fan.
time
I am
is
a
when a
fan.
lot of the polish and a lot of the visual upgrade
Sold all my armies. I played
happens.
Dark Elves.
This is probably as close as
Oh.
you'll ever see to our version
And
of a gray
Space
box.
Wolves.
Still, it's not a gray box, but
Did that
There
hurt
are
when you had
some
to
gray
sell them,
box
DK?
assets that
Oh,
you're
really?
going to
Are
see
there?
in the concept. So there's concepts, and then there's the like a grayscale assets that are being like the models that are being created, and then you'll see some of them in some early screenshots of like some of the under cave oriented assets as well.
I'm
So you'll
interested in
see
the
a little
Underworld
bit
as
of
well.
everything
I think
there.
the Underworld's going to be interesting.
But it is definitely, while we're talking over this, you're going to be seeing those. So hopefully you enjoy the assets. But those of you who don't know, I'll go into a little bit about the anvils, but I don't know, Stephen, if you want to start with the experience people have, or if we want to like lead into the lore first. What do you think?
Ooh,
Oh, it's a
I
live.
wasn't
It's a live
prepared.
server. Oh,
okay.
sorry, spoof.
Okay.
I have the
I didn't
lores
see
first,
your
but I want to
message.
know how you're feeling about
Let's-
it.
Yes, on the
let's
26th and
do
26th. For
lore
me in
first. Let's do
Australia,
that.
depending which side of the country, world you're in,
So
it's the
there
27th.
are quite a few
27th
things
for me.
here in the anvils. It is the stone-bound homeland,
Oh, me
right?
too.
The ancestral
Me too.
stronghold of the Dunzenkill.
There's nothing better when
nation
people running
hallowed
around
from
doing
the
stuff.
Bones of
I
a
think
mountain range,
phase one
where
was really good.
stone
Phase one
obeyed
was really
will
good.
and
For that,
history
anyway.
runs deep. So this is pretty much a mountainous area. Obviously, we don't have all the mountains
So
created,
Alpha
so we
2
can
will be
show
available
you
in
all
2
of-
days.
all
2
of the
days'
imagery
time,
of
Harry.
that. It's very mountainous.
Oh, phase two,
I
sorry,
know
phase
right now it
two
looks like
will be
the
ready in 2 days.
Riverlands, but it is not. That's why
Yes.
Stephen was like, this
NA,
isn't
Cyril?
done.
Yes,
We
NA.
want to just plaster
Yeah,
work in progress there.
Just to be clear,
We've
we
got
have
Australians,
Drew, one of our
Americans,
glorious artists,
and people from
working
Europe in the
on,
guild, and we all play
our
on the NA
mountains.
server, and it seems to run
actually,
fine.
those mountains are not just going to be placed within the anvils that you're not seeing right now. You saw one mountain there, but it is actually not painted yet. You probably saw a giant green mountain. But we actually are going to be replacing the mountains along the perimeter of the Riverlands area, which were only temporary to begin with. And so, as part of phase 3,
what's
you
going
will
to be
actually
interesting is
see real
how spread out the
beautiful
world is now with
mountains,
the two starting
along
areas.
the perimeter of the Riverlands and throughout the other zones, and especially
Yeah,
within
what
the
Triple Killer
anvils.
said.
Of course, being the ancient home of the Dunzenkill dwarves, as Margaret said, there is a lot of space that is in the interior of these mountains. So even in the starting areas, when you log into the anvils, actually, one big thing that's going to be coming as part of phase 3 is you will have now access to 2 starting locations. So the character creator flow is going to be a little bit different. You're going to have a background section when you make your character, and that background section is going to take into account a little bit of your personal character development arc.
Yes, that's the one, Lord Scar. That is the one, my friend.
Your character did. You'll make some selections there.
So the next wave is phase 3.
Choose a starting
so what,
portal
they've
that
all
will
been
either
alphas.
be in the anvils
they've all
or in
been
the
alpha 2, but they've been set in phases. So alpha 2, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. So this is going to be alpha 2, phase 3. And this is the last phase of the alphas.
It's going to be this vast
after this phase,
that
it'll move straight into beta.
There's
going
going
beta
to still
1,
be
and
the
whatever
2
phase it then,
options
they'll
for
go
you
beta 2.
to choose. One path that leads. Do you have the names of the? I know they recently actually changed them.
I do. I don't have. I actually. I guess we're skipping back ahead to the starting.
I'm so sorry.
Process. No, it's good. So yeah, there'll be 2 kind of different starting quest lines, which is pretty cool that you can embark on, and each is going to take you through like a new player experience. Obviously,
so then you have the game all the way up to the release.
The Lionhold experience as well, but this is you're going to see like the real changes here as like a start in the anvils. They are going to take you through receiving a crafting tutorial.
If you buy the wave now,
you'll meet a variety of new NPCs.
Let me just bring that up. Let me bring that up. So if you go to the shop, I don't know if I can do it if I'm logged in. Can I do it when I'm being logged in? Or have they changed it? Yeah, I can't see it. Maybe I have to log out. Ooh. It was on the front page. Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought you were telling him that yes, you had to pay again. Yeah, no, definitely don't have to pay again because you get a beta key. Let argument's sake, move this one. You get an alpha key, you get a beta key, you get some currency, and you get some bits and pieces. That's what I've bought, but because I'm logged in and I've already purchased it, I'm guessing I can't see it again.
He's from Gatewatcher Stonebeard and
Nahatu. So you can get in any time, DK.
I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And then it'll be a very interesting experience depending on which Gatewatcher.
So there is some value there. There's some value there.
Each path will take you off on an adventure through Mount Dunes Gateway and into the world of Vera. So there will, even within the starting area, there's going to be multiple avenues in which you can take yourself.
It does look good, doesn't it?
It's a whole spider web of quest lines, which is pretty amazing. So we hope that you will partake in those and enjoy them. I believe there's
so the question is, do we go to anvils to grind,
and 16
or do we not?
events and 10 pocket dungeons. It's going to be wild. There's going to be a lot of content to follow through and level up with.
Actually, I think I'm sorry. 2 days ago, I cut 2 of those.
It will be eventually, Lord Scar.
I'm sorry, we had to.
That's why I said about.
Yeah.
I'm not giving you exact numbers.
There's going to be 8 pocket dungeons in the anvils to start, and then we'll quickly follow up with those 2 getting released shortly after.
That's okay. I think updates are always good. People enjoy new content as it comes out. And then since we're talking about how
they always contradict each other.
You want to
one
talk
of them
about
will always get
the
ahead themselves
and how PCG
no matter what
is working through and what PCG is for people who don't know.
Absolutely. So
I'll go back to lore after.
Our glorious tech art team, spearheading the PCG efforts by Bruno, along with our world team, Jeremy. They are working on with our engineers McPhee and Cody.
Same as Pax.
New tech that we're going to
take a while, DK. It's going to
revamp.
So how long we got? We've got 7 days.
Overland population
Steven's blocking my timer.
You will have noticed in the alpha so far that those populations are relatively stagnant. They're kind of disparate. They don't necessarily make a lot of sense. There's levels kind of intermixed with each other, and there's not a lot of patrolling or pathing or even
that makes sense. It's hard to drop one and go to the other, especially when you're paying subs.
With our new
let's see if you've got a WoW subscription. It's like, do I cancel my WoW subscription?
We are going to have a significant revamp of our overland population to include a lot more patrolling and pathing, to include attractors where you're going to see monsters kind of walk up to the water and drink, or walk up to a tree and scratch your back if you're a bear or something. There's animations that are getting included as part of that pass. NPC is going to be assisting in encounter
Yeah, pretty much just like the live
composition
server.
as well. That was something that was lacking a little bit. We have
yes,
a
then
significant
phase 2 will
stat
be available in
revamp
2
that's
days. They
happening with
close
the
it.
NPCs also.
So if you just want to look
so
at,
those
just to
are
bring
some
that up,
significant changes
just
that are
to
coming.
be clear. So in the phase, let's go to phase 3. So in the calendar, open up the calendar. It's like I knew where it was. So today being the 19th, yeah, the servers for Alpha 2, Phase 2 is down. So for 2 days a week, so Tuesday, Wednesday, the server is down, and then it comes back. So Alpha 2, Phase 2 comes back on the 21st, on the Thursday, and will run all the way up till Tuesday. However, you also have access to PTR. So Alpha 2 Phase 2 is the older version of the game, doesn't have all the updates, where PTR has a lot more updates and they're constantly updating and changing. You could have your characters wiped at any time in PTR, but it's nice. You get to see some of the new mechanics and this new quests, so it's always nice to get PTR. It's a visual NDA, but you can talk about the PTR. So it's only visual NDA. So if you get the game today, you essentially get access to the PTR, and then on Thursday you can access to the live version that everyone's been playing for the last few months. A lot quieter. There's a lot more people in PTR testing and playing. But if you want to get a feel for actually the flow of the game, then yes, definitely jump into Alpha 2 Phase 2 on Thursday, then when it drops. And then on Tuesday, the day that everyone is taking off, it's Wednesday for me, actually. I start. That's when the game drops for me. Take the rest of the week off, and we'll smash that out. I know people that have taken 2, 3, 4 weeks off to play. Actually, there's one person I know that's taken 4 weeks off to play that. So hopefully they enjoy themselves and don't hurt themselves sitting that long. Nalos, the game still has not come out? Not yet, Nalos. Still not yet. It's getting there. It's getting there, my friend. Yeah, no, I wouldn't act like it's a live server, but because you definitely can't walk up to a person and get upgrades, because right now in the PTR you can go up to a guy and he'll give you a token so you can get leveled up to like 25, for example. You can't get it in the live version. No, you can't stream PTR. You cannot stream PTR, because if you could, I'd be doing that now, Harrow. But unfortunately, you cannot. Yeah, we do not want to do that before launch, not at all.
You're going to follow some parameters, like, during the winter season, the bears spawn
Imagine that. Could you imagine?
In the lower sections of the world, the lower altitudes
so
of
phase
the world.
3
and
will
during
be
the summer,
consistent,
they
Cyril.
are going to be higher up in altitude.
That's a good point. So when phase 3 drops,
like
it's not like phase 2. Phase 3 is going to continue. Will continue all the way through. It won't close. It will only, as you can see, Alpha 3 Phase 2 will be 24/7 downtime, and downtime only for updates. But it will be open until we find out about beta. So once the beta 1 comes out, that's when the new one will come. So there's no date for the beta yet. We know this is as far as we know. This is as far as we know. But if history repeats itself, let's just say, argument's sake, on average, there's been 6 months between phases. So you could say there'll be a minimum of 6 months before we see a beta. That we could argue. But no official phase 3 time, but probably 1 to 2 years. You reckon 1.5 to 2 years, Dengo? You reckon it's going to take that long before we see a beta? But yeah, true. Yeah, I'm not risking triple killer. Definitely, even 3. Let's hope not. Jeez, I really don't want that to happen. Where are we? Back to where we were. The anvils are looking good.
There are elements of how our world population are changing based off of this PCG tech.
I'm guessing 2027.
That is going to be
2027 we'll get an actual game. That is my guess.
I know people have definitely wanted to see behavioral changes with our
We should start like a betting competition.
It will be an exciting
We should start putting bets in now.
There's a lot happening with the anvils and population as a whole in the world. But in the anvils, there's some interesting stuff going on. You're going to see a lot of sculptures in the mountains. And really, these mountains were created together, or not created, they were, sculpted together, this rainfall.
Does this
and
remind you
spring
of
water,
Iron Forge?
kind of feeding water wells and forges.
If you know what Iron Forge
didn't
is.
let a drop go to waste. So you're going to see kind of this land that was once used for, a lot of power. And
When do you reckon they'll buy it first?
figure out what happened there.
Well, there's a lot of great, obviously the Dunzenkel was
We
a
should
very
we should do that. I'm
industrious
trying to figure out
nation
ways
prior
how
to
we
the
how we
fall.
can start a competition.
And so there are many
people
forges
have to have
that
their bets
exist
in,
within their
by
ancient
the end of the
homelands, and so a
by the
lot
end
of
of
the
December, for
initial
example.
storyline
When
within
will Ash's
the
creation
Dunzenkel
release
kingdom
date be?
is going to be discovering what happened to
$5
those
entry,
forges.
$5 entry.
Who are the inhabitants now of those?
And
of
whoever
those,
gets closest
mountains,
to the date or the date,
and you'll
we'll
find
split
that many of the
amongst those
inhabitants are
those
actually
winners.
corrupted spirits that have been left to toil in
That'd be
agony.
very interesting.
These
I reckon Stephen would even bet
dwarven
on it.
spirits that you're going to interact with and discover different storylines with. A lot of fun stuff to have there. I did look up what the
We climbing on top of that.
what the name of the two starting areas were.
Bonfire and Hammer Rest.
It's right. Yes.
Oh, there's two
Well done.
starting areas in
You
Anvil.
got
I thought there's one starting area in Anvil. So we got some Maya's Hope and Lion's Hold in the Riverlands. And what did he just say? What did he just call it? Hey, Bash you hard. How you going, buddy?
Inhabitants are actually corrupted spirits that have
I didn't
been
realize
left
those two
to
starting
toil
zones
in
in
agony.
the Anvil.
These dwarven spirits that you're going to interact with.
So if you
and,
type
and discover
exclamation mark,
different storylines
points,
with, a lot of fun stuff to
tell me how
have
many
there.
points you got.
I did look up what the name of the two starting areas were.
Bonfire and Hammer Rest.
Oh,
It's
dingo.
right, yes.
Yep.
Well done.
He's on fire.
You
No
got it.
problem.
Yeah,
Thank you, Jeremy.
And I got to fix.
Okay,
I got to
good.
fix that
I was about
notification. It's
to, but,
250 points.
I
Yeah,
opened
I
up the
think you-
Miro
Per
and I
ticket.
found it.
Yeah.
Bonfire and Hammer Rest. We recently changed the names, but essentially one
glad
is
you
going to be
changed the
through
name,
the.
Colin.
So when
Say
you enter
Bonfire.
in, one is going to be through the route of a river, kind of lazy river that you take out to the starting area, and then the other one is going to be on the opposite side of the mountain. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah. And to go along
I'm
those
still
lines, what
torn.
Stephen
I
was
still don't know.
talking
Do I
about,
start in the
there's,
Anvils or Lionhold?
these automated forges and ancient wheels that kind of were turning
Well, they haven't
stone.
said
and now
one
they've
yet,
been
Bunny
kind of-
Cool.
there used to be this, these things of honor, and now they're being used as weapons of war and kind of chains of corruption. So it'll be interesting to see how
Let me update that message.
Essence
that says
has
50.
affected them. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of conflict that is happening with them too. I think it's going to be interesting for you guys to see what that's like and maybe change what's happening there, or maybe you like it and you let it keep happening. I don't know.
And the other thing to keep in mind also is that
Those trees look good. What are
two
they?
of our new races align with this location as well: the Nikua and the Dunir.
Perfect transition. Have we gone through all the assets, Kyle? I think we did, but I want to make sure so people
My,
can see all
my
the
concern, Dango,
perfect.
is-
All right, let's switch over.
is it going to be like
Perfect
2.5 where we
segue
jumped
to
in and
our
we
new
couldn't play for the
races.
first day just because it was lagging
two of
so
them in which
bad.
you will see
So bad.
partaking
This,
in,
3
in
is
the
24/7
anvils,
for 1
which
year.
is
Honda, so
the
it's
Dunir and the
24/7, but
Nikua,
we don't know
also
how
have
long
the
for.
Pyre, the long
We
awaited.
don't know
I
how
know
long
folks
for.
have been excited. Which one are we showing first?
That's the only thing we don't know. But yes, 24/7. So people aren't getting off. People aren't getting off at all. So let's check the nodes, PvP, and guild systems. Very important. Very important. What's everyone else doing? What's everyone else doing? Are you doing anvils or are you going to do Lionhold or Riverlands? Put a poll up. Anvil or Riverlands? Why can't I hear music but nothing's happening?
We'll get into Jet Vassal's ship as we talk further about this. We have some new UI to share with that once we get there as well.
Cool. Yeah.
We'll drop this down to 1440. So it doesn't lag.
So I guess I can kick this off with
Oh,
towns.
oh, Bunny,
Towns are coming.
you
Ooh,
might,
oh
you
my
might, you
God.
very well
Oh,
might.
everybody breathe. We need to breathe again.
So
with good news comes some bad news. No, I'm just kidding.
no, yeah. With good news comes some bad news. We are planning on cutting city from the long-term node progression, bringing Metropolis down to node level 5. And I know that's
That's
a pretty
interesting.
big change.
Yeah,
But
let's talk
go
about
ahead.
that for a little bit, because that's going to be a big
The why part of it, yeah.
Where's my
why
head? Am I
part of it,
blocking something
exactly.
important?
Obviously, as we have experienced Alpha 2 and gone through the different
let's move me out of the way.
advancements
We
of
don't
the
need to look at me all
nodes
the
and
time, do we?
seen it at village stage, and we're architecting out the building infrastructures and the specializations that we saw, it started to make more and more sense that the city stage was really
There we
just
go.
an unglorified metropolis stage, and it didn't quite fit well. And early on,
The video audio is louder than you and can't get you well when you speak. Ah, thank you, Bunny. It's about time. You've all been sitting there just listening to me talk. Mumble. No, then, so the summoner's not coming until October Bash. The summoner's not coming until October. Now, let's adjust some sound here.
when we designed the game,
I see.
we somewhat arbitrarily decided on those 6 stages.
That's
and
why.
as we began to develop the assets and as we began to develop the systems, it made more and more sense that we would cut
I was loud.
from
You
the
guys
node
had more sound than I did.
So now we are going to be going from village to town.
There we go.
And then to the metropolis stage.
Yeah,
Chris,
some
you
people
wanna
have been
add to that a
saying,
little
do
bit?
they wait?
Yeah,
Do they wait?
Cutting city gives us the opportunity to make each node level feel a little more impactful as well, right? So
Does it
part of
sound all
this
right? You
is
can hear it
we're
now?
changing the distribution of construction plots in the nodes. We're changing how vassalship is impacted. There was a bunch of math that went into how many construction plots every node gets in a max state server to ensure that like services can be available, and now we're rejiggering all that to still have the
Beautiful.
experience we want.
Thank you.
And one of
Glad I
the
can
cool
rely
things
on you, Bunny.
about
Cool.
this cut is that we do get to make it feel more impactful at every level.
Can you talk more about the vassalship changes, and then we'll also show the UI after you kind of talk a little bit more about how that's changing?
Yeah, the changes are mostly to the network. I know we've talked about vassalship pretty in depth in the past, where you kind of have a fixed number of nodes a sovereign node can end up owning. And we went through a bunch of iterations on what we wanted that network to look like to, again, support a max state server and the services we want available. So the big change is Metropolis is going to own 2 towns now, instead of previously they owned 2 cities and each city owned 1 town and 1 village. Now it's going to be very symmetrical. A city will own a town will own a village, and a village will own a encampment or lower node.
And Chris, it seems like
Wonder
a
how
lot
that
of people
works.
in chat, they could be a vocal minority, we'll see, are saying that they would prefer the name city over town. Maybe that's something
No,
that
it's
you
just the
guys can,
PTR though,
do
Harrow.
a
You can
little,
stream the game, you
discussion
just can't
point
stream the
on what the
PTR.
community
So it's just for
prefers,
2 days you
or
can't stream the
city or
game.
town. That'd be cool to get the community's feedback on that.
Yeah.
Let's get a poll going.
We'll get a poll going. I think, Peter, if you want to get that going on the social front, we'll get that going, and we'll put that report together for you guys so you have that information.
Cool. So talk to us a little bit about what we're going to be expecting out of some of these node changes that are coming with town level 4. I know you guys have a lot of new, I'm sorry, my lights went out again. I know you guys have a lot of, I don't know why they keep doing this, have a lot of new buildings that we're going to be introducing, and some upgrade paths and some different access points, right?
Yeah, so the only
What, do you want to stream it, do you,
coming online
Harrow?
is the construction house that we talked about earlier, but
Nice.
all
Yeah, just
of
wait
the
2 days. Just wait 2
existing
days.
constructed buildings are going
And play the live version.
Progression added to them. Part of this is in line with the plot changes that we're making.
Right now, we
where
haven't
villages
seen a
gonna get 2
major
extra service
impact
building
on
plots, and town is getting double the
so
amount of
far
service
with
building plots.
the node
So you'll be
systems.
able
Like
to
they get to level
construct a lot
3,
more
and
there,
yes, we get
but we also
the buildings
don't want to create an
to craft
experience
stuff.
where every node can
But I think
do
we haven't
everything,
seen
right?
the impact of that yet.
And under the current paradigm, you'd be able to have a lot of services available at like the maxed out progression in town. So we had to kind of look at that and say, you know, how do we adjust that? So the biggest thing we're doing is we're adding 2 layers
Sarah,
of
I'm
what we
going to be
call, like,
playing
tiered
tank.
progression
Are we
to
playing
immersionship
tank?
building. And we're
All the classes are pretty good, to be honest. I would highly recommend, and you get that basic, you get that saying from anyone. But I think you could play any class and enjoy it. But depending on your play style,
the sub tiers in the grade. You're talking about. I was reading something else. You're talking about itemization. You're talking about a gear.
the low,
so-
medium, and high.
so you
Yeah,
might,
So we're not really referring.
for
to
example,
those,
Bard. I don't
necessarily,
enjoy
but they
playing
would
Bard
be
as much,
tiers
but
within
it's a
the
strong
grade. They would
character.
be low,
So
medium, and
you
high.
could definitely play anything. So
So
I guess
we're
do you
also
like
going to be pushing
range,
that
or
for
do you like
service buildings
melee?
as well.
Do you like magic?
So
Do you
that's
like
gonna
swords?
allow us
I think they're the
some,
questions to ask.
you know, smaller but
Essentially, yes, Bunny Cool.
you know, smaller
Yeah, so
upgrades
it's
that you can make.
so you get a
that
mayor,
aren't just all or
and
nothing
they will
type, right? Or all or nothing.
they will decide
apprentice.
what gets upgraded.
So in addition to that, we're
But at
adding
the same
these kinda,
time,
like,
you don't want to be a
micro
dick of a mayor
upgrades in between that are going to provide passive
and go
buffs
make
to the
something
node for
that
people
people
doing
don't want,
artisanship of
because
the
you
type
need
down the
taxes.
lane that
You
you've
need the
gone
people
through.
to contribute
Nice.
to your town to
That's
keep the
awesome.
upkeep.
And then you're
So
also
if the
doing,
town
some
don't like what you've
rework
put
on
in,
the
they're
service
going to
building
go.
field
They're going to
trees as
leave and
well,
be
right?
be a citizen
That's-
somewhere else.
Oh,
That's what
You're
I
not
was
going to
talking
get people
about.
contribute to that
There
town,
you
so that
go.
mayor
Sorry.
won't last
I
long.
got distracted with a text message.
All good.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. Should we talk about dynamic lawless? Oh, go ahead.
Let's show the vassal node window and talk about that.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to see.
So if you want to talk through these changes, so this is the vassal node window. Again, work in progress. Don't come at us.
Yeah.
Yes.
So go ahead, Stephen.
No, you're
Yes, and I'll pause this for a
so
second
yeah.
because I want to see what they say about the node system. So, can you change your citizenship? Yes. Is there is a cooldown when you change your citizenship? I can't remember what it is. Was it 36 hours? I can't recall. But if you want to become a citizen of another node, you can. There are taxes that you have to pay. So when you become a citizen, so it is important. It is important to go pick a node that you want to become a citizen of, and it's completely independent of your guild. So you can be in a guild, but you can also be a citizen of a node, and you don't necessarily need to be on the same node as your guild. So those two are completely up to you. So there are node wars. So the citizens on one node will fight another, and then there's guild wars as well. So you might be fighting, if you're in a node having a war against another node, you might be fighting someone in your guild. So there are options. There are options. You always want to play the best class. The best class. The cleric is very strong. I think the cleric is very strong. It's got a bit of a nuke in it and has the healing, so you're always able to survive. And then I think also the mage is pretty good. AoE damage type. A bit, what's the word? What's the word I'm thinking of when you... Squishy. A bit squishier than the others. But has a lot of AoE. I really enjoy the fighter as a class. I think he's tanky and hits well. Oh, and then we've got the rogue. The rogue has a lot of DPS for sure. Bards up there as well. They're all good. I couldn't say there's a best class. No, not exactly, Cyril. So the classes you do have, the mage has a big ass shield. Is that the big ball you have around it? So they are class specific. So for example, if you're a mage, I'll do tank for example, or fighter, you use physical damage as your main driver of damage types because you use sword shield, bows and arrows and stuff. But for example, you can get a bow, an arrow, a short bow, a long bow. You can get a bow with physical power on it, and then you can get a bow with what's the magical power? Is it called magical power? Either way, there's a bow that have the stats on the weapons will help your class. I want someone to be someone that Want to be summoner or heal? Well, you can be both when the secondary archetype comes out. So if you're not sure of what the secondary archetype is, well, what they're going to have, I think is 64 classes in total. So you've got the tank, the cleric, the bard, the mage, the fighter, the ranger, the rogue, and the summoner. Is that all? I think that's it. And then, so what is it? So you get your primary class, and then not just yet, it's not out in phase 3 just yet. But when the game's released, there'll be 64 different classes. Because what you do, you end up picking a secondary archetype. So you could be a summoner, but with the secondary archetype as a cleric. So that's definitely a bonus. Summoner is supposed to be a weird mashup of tank, healer, DPS. I thought. Look, it can be. I'm not sure until they release it, Dingo. But the secondary archetypes are going to be interesting. I think from the get-go, I've said when the game is launched, I'm going to go Ranger, and then my secondary archetype is going to be Mage. So we'll see how we go there. Hey, welcome, Bunny. Cool, welcome. So, all right, let's check out what they're doing with these node systems.
Vassalship, obviously, we have to communicate what vassalship state the world is in, right? Because it does lock out nodes from progressing if you are vassaled under someone higher level than you. So we're going to be able to show.
Finally, someone said it in basic terms. So the vassalship is you got nodes around you, and one node can outperform another node and will become, like, let's just say the king node. And then under that, you have other nodes. So there's tiers of nodes underneath you, and that's the vassalship. If there's already a higher rank, you can't outrank the other one. So you'll always sit under. So it'll be interesting to see how one node can actually fall and another one can take over, whether it's a war or whatnot. Yes, you can subclass. So 64 classes. And so, for example, when you link, and they've all got their own names as well. Let me just see if I can pull that up real quick. It says search function in here. Go to archetypes. CZ summoner is still locked out. Here we go. So there's secondary archetype. So you can pick summoner, but if you pick a bard, you're an enchanter. Why is my mouse frozen? I was going to say that's scary. If you're a cleric and a summoner, you're a necromancer. Add fighter, you're wild blade. Mage, spellmancer. Beastmaster with hunter, ranger. Sorry. The rogue will be a shadowmancer. If you do summoner, you're a conjurer, and brood warden if you're tank and summoner. So each archetype will have the same. So, for example, ranger, you've got the bow singer, the soul bow, the strider, the scion, sentinel, falconer, scout, and hawkeye. So there's plenty of classes. So that's very cool. I'm also interested in is PvP. So I'll probably go rogue or something. Rogue. Yes, I think from a PvP perspective. What would you say? I think Bard and Rogue, I think very strong at the moment. The Summoner and Bard is not the same as Bard and Summoner. No. So if you say that, Bunny, cool. So what do you got? So we'll go to the Bard, for example. So we go to the Bard. I'm pretty sure it's not. I could be completely wrong. So we go to the Bard Summoner. You're a song caller. You're a song caller if that's what you are. But if we go to the Summoner, we are a enchanter. So that's the difference between the two. Yeah, the primary is the big one. And the flavor of the month, we'll go Coca-Cola. All right, let's get cracking. Let's go back to this node.
In the node, who your sovereign is, and who your direct parent is, because again, it's a network of parented and childed nodes. This is coming with a bunch of changes to the node summary page and the bulletin board to kind of support providing more information to players about any given node, who its relationships are with, and what that node has to offer for you.
And we do want to be clear that with systems like Vassalship, they have a lot of...
Just to let you know, as you can see, the total node gold is 150 gold. So the mayor has to determine what to do with that gold. So that could be declare war, for example. That might be, argument's sake, it could be 500 gold to declare war on another node. And then that's purely dependent. Do your citizens want that? Because if you go spend that, you lose, your node's broke. Your node's broke. They don't sound strong, Songcaller. Well, that's the bard. The bard plays an instrument. Hey, Westy, welcome. How we going, guys? If you're bard summoner, you'll be one-man orchestra, but summoner and bard, the summons will dance on your music. Look, it's interesting. I'm more annoyed that the class that I was going to go, the hunter/mage, is called Scion. I'm like, I don't like the name Scion.
Of tendrils for content and functionality.
Shiva!
It's not all going to be
welcome,
present
Shiva.
when we first introduce Vassalship. Remember, we got to keep in context that these features are coming out as a work in progress. These are the initial offerings of the features. They're going to continue to be fleshed out with additional features and the long-term intent. So keep that in mind when Phase 3 Day 1 hits, that these are going to be very MVP versions of those features so that we get them stood up.
Yeah, and the big thing we really wanted to deliver for Phase 3 entrance is that the world state gets it. Not everyone can get to the max state, right? It's a part that's like really missing from our game, where everything can just get to all the dungeons are unlocked, all the pop is up.
So,
and we want to.
That's another very good question, Bunny Cool. Hey, Survivor. Good morning, my friend. It's currently 8:30 p.m. for me, but I'll say good morning either way. So guild can just grab the power. Yes and no, Bunny Cool. Yes and no. So it's been a while since I've touched on these ones, but there's 5 different types of nodes. There's an economic node, a scientific node, a martial node. What are the other 2? Triple Killer, where are you? I need you. So there's 3 different types, and each type of node is specialized in an area. So let's just say it's the economic node. I can't recall. To become mayor of that node, it's the person that contributes the most to that node. Economic, religious. That's right. Money, science, I think. 4? No, there's definitely 5. There's definitely 5. But yes, I'm sure there's 5. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's 5. But yes, either way. So one of them, it's the one who contributes the most to that node, and they become mayor. And every month, these elections pop up. Some are player nominated. So the ones that are player nominated, the ones that are player nominated, you go up to the town hall, you register. So you can see in the red here, you've registered for the upcoming election, and people nominate for you. So yes, major guilds are getting into these ones. And then the other one is there's some PvP stuff you got to do. So for the martial ones, it's all about PvP. So I think some of the big PvP guilds will be fighting for those ones. I can't remember the other things you had to do for the other nodes. So they are good. And right now, I think there's 29 nodes coming out in Phase 3, and that's only a portion of what's coming. Hey, Ashen Forges, welcome in. If the resources are tradable, then it's the same. I register the guild pass as a resource, and I deposit everything under my name. If the resources are tradable, then it's good. So are they for becoming a mayor, Bunny Cool, or just in general? Because yeah, I can give you stuff. I can definitely trade stuff with you. Were they account bound? For mayor. Good point. I think we haven't seen it yet because they haven't turned that part on. Currently in the alpha, all we've had is nominations. So every node has just gone through the nomination route at the moment. We haven't had the ability to try the other ways of becoming mayor yet. Yes, Guild Bank's going to be massive, Ashen. 100% it's going to be massive.
Kind of represent that.
All right, and then let's show the sovereign world map. And then if you want to talk over the details of that, Chris?
Sure. Yeah, so basically, again, we want this information to be readily available to players. So when you hover over a node, it's going to show you what that network actually looks like, going from the sovereign to all of its children and its children's children. Should be a pretty simple interface to engage.
Okay, so Winstead owns essentially mirrorless and Sunhaven. That's what it's saying, under the vassalship. But what's the benefit of the vassalship? That I'm not aware of.
With
Yeah, it's
Awesome.
gonna give people context for who their sovereigns are. Eventually, you're gonna see what node type that sovereign is, the types of benefits that sovereign's providing your node, and
Okay.
vice versa. There's gonna be a lot of information to be had.
So it's
on this.
essentially linking benefits.
All right. Now, Stephen, we can move on over to the dynamic lawless POIs. Goodness.
Okay, my goodness.
So this
You know,
is
we've heard
what
a
they're
lot
talking
of,
about now is the PvP, how they're adding
outcry
PvP
about lawless
across
action.
the
So
world.
here you go. We've got some goodness planned for y'all.
Well, so we have always historically spoken about these, as I refer to them, the open world battlegrounds. However, I believe we're calling them dynamic lawless POIs. And Chris, do you want to talk a little bit about this approach?
So as a PvP junkie myself, I'm very excited for this. Basically what this is going to be is on a rotating schedule, POIs in the world are going to become lawless for a period of time. While it's lawless, there will be better reward tables on the monsters in that POI. There'll be like XP benefits. So you'll want to be incentivized to go to these lawless POIs while they're up to get to get those rewards, but obviously with the increased risk of people are going to kill you. And this also allows it to keep it kind of fresh. It'll be you won't always be in the trial.
You hate it when they say basically and start enumerating 100 things. Basically, it means it's sure. Yeah, I get it, Bunny. I get it. I don't usually notice it, but now I'm never not going to notice it. I think the thing here is, so with so they're complaining about the PvPs right now, right? They're complaining about this area not being big enough. So it'll be interesting to see how big or how small it needs to be. So Ashton, you've done it. It's not a massive incentive. You don't think it's the incentive going in there is high enough to actually go in there to PvP? I think PvP's never had a massive incentive anyway. So this would be our first incentive to PvP, I would say.
Topics if you want to do PvP now, right? You can go to other places.
Yeah, and this ties in both to our dynamic world, right? Where you
But it
can
solves the
see things
PvP problem,
fluctuate. You can
I guess.
see named bosses spawn during these moments or off moments, right? Might be during the non-lawless territory that a certain boss is up, or during the lawless territory that the boss is up, and you're going to be notified. You're going to have advanced warning that these lawless periods are coming. So it's just not going to happen, on top of you. It is going to be something you're aware of, and that if you choose to log out in those zones, you know that you might log in, and it could be a lawless area.
Yeah, the plan right now.
There'll be a global announcement that will let you know.
Yeah,
exactly.
The plan right now is that there's a spin up time, right? So what'll happen is we'll get an hour of
You
spin
will
up
in the
where nothing is
PvP
lawless. We will get
area, Bunny Cool.
then a
But
few
I don't know in
hours
these
of
lawless
that space
zones.
being lawless.
I think
and
you
then
need
it
to
will
be
go back
corrupted
into
to
a
drop your
spin-up
gear.
time for a new area.
Yeah, and this is going to be opportunities, I think, for obviously different guilds, different player groups to try to contend.
So you will
those,
lose glint. So glint is probably your the resource that you don't want to lose the most. That is what you turn into currency. So you pick up glint around the world, and then you go sell your glint for currency.
There might even be resource nodes that spawn in these periods of time that could include things like relics or crates that can be resourced out and spawn in the world in these locations to take back to your nodes.
So why would
Very
we
cool.
want to take them
It's
back to our
exciting.
nodes?
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else you want to add a note? I think just so folks know that like when it does switch over, everybody in that area will be flagged as combatants.
Oh,
Yeah,
do you get a warning?
Standard lawless approach, you will receive flagging, and there are some changes that are coming to player flagging. Oh, am I getting ahead?
No, keep going.
I am getting ahead. I have it.
Unless there's more to the unless we have more to the dynamic lawless stuff that you want to talk about,
No,
we can.
The dynamic law stuff is pretty straightforward. I think Steven can talk about the.
Yeah, we can move on to PvP flagging. You're good, Steven.
No, I don't want to steal the show. You
Oh,
got it.
wow.
Just talk to us a little bit about PvP flagging and corruption.
I think I was going to cover this part.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
Go ahead. No,
you can
Margaret,
cover it, Steven.
Okay,
Go for
sure.
it.
Okay, so we have met and we've chatted a little bit about some of the friction that occurs from the control schema with our PvP and flagging. And we are doing some pretty significant changes to the PvP flagging system that Brian Ferguson has been a part of developing in conjunction with our PC team. So the flagging controls are going to be a little bit more intuitive now, especially by default. It's going to hopefully diminish corruption baiting as a result of that, or flag baiting. This is going to include things like if you have a flagged player and you are targeting them, you will not need to, by default, have Alt F or Alt held in order to interact with them. That will be a setting that you can enable, but by default, if you target them with an ability and they are flagged, you will not have that abrasion there. So that will be a big win, I think, in creating some of the friction that we've seen with that control schema.
So what's he saying? Is he saying that if someone comes past me who's flagged for PvP, and I'm not flagged for PvP, I can target them and then attack them with the first hit? Is that what he's saying? You know the game when the game is released? Yeah, I guess there's that too, Bash. There's definitely that. But the game is that large, or the ambition for the game being is... Sorry, let me start again. The ambition is for the game to be huge, and we're only seeing a small part of it. Oh, so if I auto-target them, it'll auto-flag me, so I don't have to press Alt-F to turn... That's probably good, because the amount of times where I haven't been flagged and people come over, it's like, oh, quick, flag up. And then the flagging system didn't work. So I think that's a positive. So if you're already engaged in PvP, killed someone else, then you have marked and I can attack you directly. Problem is the AoE might also do it also. But you're not targeting them. If what I guess what it's saying is they're locked onto you and it hits them. But if it hits them and they're not locked on, then I assume not. If that's correct. But who was it? Was it Bash? Yeah, so I guess the Bash's point. I get your point. There's not many games that you jump in. Such a great game. This would be a great game if it was finished and we just jumped in all for the first time. That would be amazing and wild. So yes, I get your point. People already know the game before it's up for sure. But I think the positive is, and as long as they do this, and this is what I'm hoping, is that they keep majority of it out of our hands. Make us test the parts that need testing. 100%. Dynamic gridding, the node systems, the economy, the fighting, the mobs. 100%. Keep us to our small little pocket. So as soon as when the game's released, we will only get to play. Let's just say it's only 5% of the whole map, of the whole world and what we get to do. I think that'd be good. Right now, we can only get to level 25. Max cap's meant to be 50. And even get to level 25 is an achievement in itself. So could it been stopped at 20? Yeah, potentially. But one thing I can say is getting from level 25 to 50 is going to be massive. Someone asked a question before. I forgot to answer it. Something about Throne Liberty.
And then one other thing I do want to remind people of is that corruption as a value, corruption as a deterrent, is currently purposefully overtuned in order to represent what corruption should do as a deterrent when the game is actually live. In an alpha, people don't always care about their progression or their character or if they lose something. And so as a result of that, we do overtune it so that we don't get a misrepresented ratio of corruption.
I don't know, Ashen.
That might sully the data we're collecting on how players experience the game. So
it's probably going to be a last minute question.
Say, tune corruption down. That's
no, I'm not going into off.
Doing corruption will still be a very impactful event. But there will be some other changes coming to corruption as well that I think the team is still working on right now.
The Denier look good, though.
I'll just kind of recap just so people
the Denier do look good.
Synopsis of it.
I like that armor set.
Attack combatants and corrupted players at any time, and there's going to be no need to hold like a forced PvP key we've added a new optional setting. So attacking targeted combatants requires use for the forced PvP key. It's off by default, but if you choose to prefer that as an extra safety, you can enable it. There's also a second new setting called may hit non-targeted combatants with AoE, which will be defaulted off. This should help prevent the accidental flagging during group encounters.
There you go.
And then we've removed the Alt F as a toggle for forced PvP. From now on, if you want to attack non-combatants, you'll need AoE, which will be defaulted off. This should help prevent the accidental flagging during group encounters.
Oh, good, Ashen.
Remove the Alt F as a
They just said they got a toggle for the AoE.
Non-combatants, you'll need
So that should
to
fix things.
hold the force PvP key. This change should help prevent the accidental PvP engagements.
Yes.
And then we've also made. Oh, go ahead, Steven.
Just to comment on that point, we were noticing that by providing a toggle for the force PvP function, that we were creating environments where players might forget that, they might think it's required, and they engaged in PvP in a non-intentional manner. So now that
You go have a look.
toggle
She just
is
said it just
gone.
then.
And if
Go
you
back to
want
that. Go back to this
flag
June
on
development
players that
update
is
if you're
not
looking for it.
flagged, that is a white name, you must do so by holding the force function key, which is Alt by default. That should prevent that confusion to a degree.
You can also turn these things off in the setting. Like you can adjust the settings if you want. This is just for what will be the default settings.
That's correct.
You can adjust the settings. So if it's not something that you want to enable,
and I think
then
there's
you
some
can keep
people
those
in
things
chat.
active.
I think there's some people in chat that are misunderstanding.
Yeah.
So if a player is a white name, that means they are not a combatant. They have not engaged in PvP. If you want to hit that player, you will go red if you kill them. Okay? And we don't want Alt F to give you the freedom of attack against them. We want that to be a conscious decision. If you're going to activate an ability against a white player, you hold Alt. Now, you can turn that off as a setting. You can just have, if you have the person targeted, that you will always attack them if you activate an ability against them. But I don't recommend it because you will definitely go red. and Davin Beast and anybody who's saying make red viable, that will not be the case. So the game design will not change. Red is not a viable condition. It is explicitly a game design that is a deterrence. So if you continue to ask that, it's not going to be the case. That is not the game design.
See, that's what I'm saying. So he had someone in chat there. They just want PvP. They don't want anything else other than killing people. Force PvP isn't turned on option, so look out if you want it on. Force PvP isn't a turned on option. Oh, so you mean, are you saying, so look out for it to make sure you turn it on after the fact? Is that what you're saying?
Griefing people.
I know.
The next thing here is...
Remember, just be clear. You do not have to think that it is a good design. We are not building this game for everyone.
Hey, From, how you going, buddy?
Open PvP game, that is not Ashes of Creation. We are a PvX game. So we
I like that.
Sure
I like it. So this because I'm not on either fence, but at the same time, I like that he's very clear. I like that he's very clear in regards to PvP right now. And we're going to go back.
People enjoy griefing people.
I know.
The next thing here is...
Remember, just be clear. You do not have to think that it is a good design. We are not building this game for everyone. If you want a free open PvP game, that is not Ashes of Creation. We are a PvX game. So we need to make sure that you understand that and we are clearly communicating that.
He does communicate well. He does communicate well.
We are PvX. We've constantly said this game isn't for everybody. We've also put 2 targeted updates to other PvP systems. So non-combatants are now fully immune to crowd control from combatants and corrupted players. This fixes cases where players were using CC to cause deaths without actually gaining corruption. So that's basically that. And then we're increasing the corruption and blight penalty for killing low-level players if you're a much higher level. The goal, obviously, is to discourage ganking without removing risk-reward entirely.
Yes, so the non-combatants. So if you are not flagged or if you are not red, you cannot be subject to crowd control effects. The ability will still do damage, and all the other effects will still apply, but now crowd control effects will not apply unless you are purple or red.
So that's the issue that people are coming up with. And that's if you're going through the Discord for Ashes, a lot of people are having a problem. Mainly the only people that have a problem with this one are the people that want a PvP. They want to be able to use crowd control on people that are not flagged. Now I'm on with Steven on this one. If the game's not for you, the game's not for you. But that's what they want. They want to be able to hit, touch, abuse whoever they want at any point in time during the game. Because they go, it's not fun for me if I can't do that. But if you sit on the other side of the fence, I'm pretty sure there's 80% of the population that don't want to get smacked when they've got an hour to play. They want to go cut down trees, and some idiot just comes over and puts you to sleep constantly. Why would you want that to happen? And I know what the answer is going to be. Oh, well, you shouldn't be playing a game like Ashes of Creation because it's for someone who can play more hours in a day. That's what they'll say. That is what they say. But directly from the person that funds and is building the game has just told us what this game is. So if anyone comes in and goes, no, the game's something else completely different, they're wrong. He clearly just said what his game is. It's his game. He built it. That's what we're paying for. So if you come in and go, give me something else, then you're completely wrong. Get more people to play Ashes. We need more people for the alpha. Hey, Splosh Man, we're getting as many people to play Ashes as possible. That is why everyone's entering the draw. ! Ticket. Get in the draw. Get in the draw. I'm looking. I think Splush. We're gonna have a. Is it Splosh? Splosh Man. So I have a feeling there's gonna Alpha 3 is going to kick off a lot of old players and new players. Maybe not as many new, but definitely a lot of the older players are going to definitely be coming back. The question is, how many are going between Riverlands and how many are starting at Anvils? And what will that look like at the start of the game? It happens, Bunny. It happens.
That is that section. And
What's
of
next?
course, we'll hear you guys' feedback. We'll see how it plays out, obviously through testing. We'd love to see how
They
you
look a bit
guys,
nervous.
experience that, and if it's made it better or worse for folks, always feel free to share that feedback with us. Now let's go into guild progression updates. There's a lot of people asking for guild.
There's one other thing. I'm so sorry.
go for it.
Where are you
One
starting,
other thing.
Ashen? Anvils or
With
Riverlands?
regards to monster training, we are also doing some work on the NPC side that is going to make it more difficult to train
Spoof Dooley!
onto
Thanks,
other
man.
groups.
Welcome in.
We're doing that is by party affiliation. So if you're not in the party that you initially pull the mob in, you are going to require a slightly higher threshold in order to pull aggro off of the target. So it's not going to solve all the problems. There will still be an availability for you to potentially be trained. You have to be cognizant of your surroundings. You have to watch, not AoE a lot if somebody is trying to do this. However, their ability to do it will be significantly degraded with these changes, and it will be something that we're going to be testing as part of our PTR.
That's good. That's good.
Cool. Now we move on to guild progression updates. Thank you, Stephen. I did not have that listed on here, but that's a good one.
Now, guild progression, this is an important one.
About the guild changes that are coming.
Good, man. How's your day going?
A lot of folks have been wanting to see what these things are.
Right. There's what? We've got 7 days, 6 hours till Ashes of the Creation Phase 3. So we're getting excited. That's the goal anyway.
Obviously, after that, we'll talk a little bit about guild storage, which I know has been a big thing. So hold through us. We're going to talk about progression and then we'll get into
no advantage. And yes, they are significantly further away from each other, Bunny.
So we'll start with guild
much further
first. Kind of the simple, easy things we are going to do are do a rebalance.
If I was to take Polar's best guild, fair enough. You're entitled to your opinion there. If I had to run between Anvils and the Riverlands, Bunny, take you an hour, I'm guessing. And if anyone's 45 minutes to an hour, I'm trying to think. So yeah, it's significant. It's not a hop, skip, and a jump. That's for sure.
To XP for guilds, right? currently, like, getting your first couple of levels as a guild is monumentally difficult and costs a lot of gold, and we want to kind of rebalance that curve to make the earlier levels more convenient to get, but the harder levels still require a big.
So guild progression early on, when they first put the guilds in there and progression, to get you can level up a guild. You can level up a guild and you can get ranks. And it seems you essentially get a skill tree for your guild. And the guild's got to contribute to so many so much of the quests and items to get XP for the guild. But the problem is when they first put it in, it was just unattainable. Like the amount of XP you needed just to get 1 point to get to the next tier, which the next skill point might have been minuscule, where you may have been able to add another 5 people to the guild. The effort you had to go to is ridiculous. So I'm interested to see what they say here. Good man, good to see you keen on Ashes. So had you have Spoof Dooley?
Grind. The other
Will you
thing
be
we're
there on the
gonna
26th?
change is, instead of it being a skill tree, we're going to move towards a more point spending system, right? Where the options you have are flexible. So if you get a point, you can spend it on a thing. You're not necessarily gated by a progression track on which thing you spend it on. But
Okay.
every few levels, we will give you access to a special kind of point. That special kind of point will let you specialize into, what you really want your guild to target doing. It could be guild size if you want to be a little more zergy. It could be player stats for combat. We eventually want to add in like PvE and PvP bonuses to this track.
Some of the graphics options don't work, huh? Like the whole screen is black. I'm going to have to see why. There's a Triple Killer. You might know this. What do you do when the whole screen's black? There is a slight issue with that, Harrow. I have heard that it shouldn't go black. This is what they threw. What did I miss? That, and it was only through glint, so you were just grinding mobs for guild XP seals. Yeah, it was terrible, wasn't it, Triple Killer? Hey, Judla, welcome. So I like this. So with the guild systems, you can spend more points into increasing your guild cap. For example, so it starts off at 50 and you can get to 75 for argument's sake. You would start leveling up your guild so you can get 75 in there. But the other option you have is you can start building out skills, abilities, buffs, for example. So you can have a smaller guild and leave it at 50, but you might increase your physical power for your guild by 2%, your wood chopping ability by 2%, or something like that. The way we're doing our guild is we are keeping the minimum number, but we are focusing on power over size. We're not interested in the Zerg. We want people in the guild to feel powerful. So the more power we can add in the guild, that's where we're sitting. The Queensland time they released Phase 3. I think it's daylight savings hasn't changed. I think it's about 3 a.m. 3 or 4 a.m. I'm guessing 3 a.m. Quick Ash Discord. I think they said something in the PTR news. Oh, let me go check. No, nothing in the PTR news or in news in general. Hey, Saint Son, thanks, buddy. Oh, in what regard? So I thought you were saying it now, Triple Killer. Thanks, Saint Son. How many at the moment? 50. DJ Style. When are they going to release Ashes for good? In 2 years? Oh, that's a guess. DJ. Any talk about summoner release? October spoof. That's what we've heard. That's what they've said. They haven't said it in this video, but yeah, October's roughly. We'll go find it. No, Bunny. So if anyone does want to join the guild, all you have to do is click on the Discord link below, jump in our Discord. Once I get off stream, then I'll come add you to all the Discord channels and we'll get you in. So we do have currently right now before the stream, it was I think we're only about half full. So there's still plenty of spots left to go. And there's Dengo. And join us. So yeah, plenty of spots. If you want to download Ash of the Creation for the first time, or you still play Ash of the Creation, yes, we're going to be hitting it hard, very hard, from the 26th. Until then, it'll be stream. And then, yeah, we'll get into it for sure. Now, it's PDR chats about the black screen issues. I think, not sure. Also, check system requirements. Gotcha. Yeah, so Harrow, if you jump in to not just my Discord, so the one that's linked below, but if you jumped into Ash's Creations Discord, there is a PTR channel that they would have unlocked for you, so you can see all the bits and pieces in there. I don't think they got DLSS on at the moment on PTR either. I could be wrong.
The initial points you're getting are more utility stuff, right? They're expanding your storage size, crafting benefits, stuff like that.
Yeah, I know that this has been
All good, Harrow.
Have we talked about guild storage?
That's the next.
It's going to be next.
Oh shit! I'm so sorry.
Can't read a script to save his life.
Also changing kind of the guild XP curve a bit.
Hey, thanks, Dengo.
You kind of talked about that a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, we're trying to make it a little bit easier to get your first couple of levels, get your feet wet with the system.
I think for this one, DJ, the game's taking a while, but I think as well we got put into it very early on. So I think with most games, you don't yet or not necessarily, you don't get put in a game at the stage that we've been put in. So I think one thing that Trepid have done is actually put us in very, very early. Is it a good business decision or bad business decision? Look, there's pros and cons both ways. It definitely helps them build a better game. As you can see, there's a lot of dedicated, loyal, passionate is a very, very good word, players out there that want Ashes to be absolutely amazing. Like I said, I know people are taking 4 weeks off to play an alpha. 4 weeks to play a game that's currently in alpha state. So I can understand where people have their expectations high and they want the game to be, this, that, and the other. That's where you have to sort of like pull it back a little bit. Remember, it's an alpha, and then it's coming. But the good news, as you can see, they've been smashing developer updates. We have seen updates. We've got new content. It's constantly coming, and we can see it. We just got to let it cook, really. Just got to let it cook. I don't know enough about game dev to say is this a long time or a short time. But look, I think they're on the right path. But I do agree from a consumer perspective, it does feel quite long, considering we've been chucked in the hype early compared to other games where the hype sort of like Battlefield 6. The hype between hype and the beta, very short. Between the beta and release, very short window again. So we've only got another month or two before that comes out. So, that's completely different strategy. GTA 6 is out in game over. The hype for Ashes will yeah, look, GTA 6, even GTA 6, they even said they were going to pop out. And then they pushed their release date back so far. So they've probably got something similar. Ashes, the people can jump in. But they know they want that hype of day one. They want the hype of day one. And look, I'll be there for GTA 6. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. That would ruin my life if GTA 6 and Ash the Creation released at the same time. DJ, that would not work well for me at all. I heard Throne Liberty took 12 years to make. Yes, I really enjoyed Throne Liberty. I'm getting excited. Some people didn't and some people do. But I thought that was a great game. And let's find out about this guild system.
Because it is a massive cliff to kind of get your first level and a huge gold investment.
And then long term, do you want to talk a little bit about like the weekly guild tasks and some of those things?
So right now, really, there's only 2 avenues to earn guild experience. One is through drops that you can craft into guild XP consumables. The other is through the guild commodities. We not necessarily for the entrance of phase 3, but during phase 3, we want to introduce like weekly guild activities that the guild leader can select.
I really like this.
Mayoral commissions, but not exactly.
It keeps the guild engaged, involved.
What it's going to be like is guild leaders are going to get a fixed number of these to choose from. When they choose it, guild members don't have to accept it. They just are passively contributing to it based on whatever the activity is. So if it's kill 500 goblins, then, you know, anyone who kills a goblin in your guild will contribute to this thing. And when it's
See, you might think killing 500 goblins is trivial, but it's a goal that the guild and people in the guild can easily achieve. It doesn't necessarily need to be a task that you need to be sweaty to be able to contribute. If you just jump on and you just play for the fun of it, well, to be honest, that's what you should be jumping in the game for to do anyway. But if you want to kill 500 goblins, you might smash the day out. The guild you can chuck it in the Discord. Guys, we're smashing out goblins today. Let's go for gold. I hope they implement an action camera. The game is very similar to other action MMOs. So press Z or Z, wherever you're from, Harrow. That is your action key. That'll change it. Let me know if that's what you're talking about. 6 months for GTA? Is it in 6 months? Well, you might be right. Or was it? What was the date for GTA? GTA release date. GTA 6. Oh, May. It's coming May 2026. Yeah, you're not far off. Not far off at all. Imagine being an actual banker in game. People come to you to get gold and they deposit a collateral, like items of property or resources, and you don't pay back. The player becomes owner of the collateral. Want to upgrade your guild? Here's some money. Want to get that item? Sure, here it is. But if you don't pay back, we take it automatically. I'd like to be a pawn shop in the game. It is soon GTA. That is sure. Yeah, no, the game Ash of the Creation and GTA are definitely not releasing at the same time. Z makes you roll, dodge roll. Z was definitely action camera. I'm not into the PTR, so I'd have to check it. Used to be Z, so there is definitely an action camera. There's definitely an action camera. They changed it. What was the key now? PTR Z now? No, that's what it was before, Dengo. It's definitely there. I'm not a fan of it. Oh, Z's on the dodge roll now.
It's completed, your guild will earn a boost of XP.
And you'll also get some personal rewards as well for assisting, right?
Exactly.
Exciting.
Now we move on to guild storage, which
that's good about
is
guilds.
The thing that everybody wants to know about. There are going to be there's a section of this where we're going to talk about what is going to be available at the start of phase 3 entrance, and then there's a bunch of stuff that we're going to talk about that will be post phase 3 that are long-term plans for us, but we know that folks will want it, so we want to make sure that we're prefacing these things are coming. We're aware of that. You'd want those things along with it, so go for it.
Cool. Yeah, guild storage, both item and material storage is what we're targeting for the beginning of phase 3.
Do we get to see it?
Item storage is going to work very similarly to the way player item storage works. It's global. You can accept.
I 100% reckon
nodes,
that they're going to have
sky.
duplication in guild storage.
Material storage is going to function a little differently, though. You are not going to get a base material storage at every node like you do as a player.
Not a bad way to be, DJ.
You
gotta get a beer at the end of the day.
To utilize their material storage at. So it'll force you to kind of localize your guild in a space, and eventually, long term, we're going to introduce the ability to open more of those through progression.
This has been something that people have been asking for a while. It's a big
Sure
system.
has.
Obviously, anytime you deal with warehouses and storage and player interaction and being able to pull or deposit, there's a lot of work that goes along with that from a persistence standpoint, from a permission standpoint, from a security standpoint. We want to make sure that those systems aren't introducing game-breaking bugs from an economic
Do the old
standpoint.
deposit, log out, log
But
back in.
Kyle,
It's in
Mitch,
your inventory.
and,
It's in the
engineers
in
on
their
Mitch's team
inventory.
are going to be delivering on this for the entrance phase 3. Remember, as always, these features that are large are going to be expanding as we move forward, and their initial implementation will be the MVP version. So very excited for this. I know a lot of players have been begging for guild storage.
Yeah. So if you want to talk a little bit about post phase 3, what things that they can look forward to coming in future updates.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so eventually what we're going to add into the feature is kind of progression for storage like we have for players. For item storage, guilds will be able to purchase, item chunks is what we call them. So a series of slots to add to your item storage. The way these will be purchased is there will be nodes in the skill tree you can spend to get the ability to unlock that, and then the guild will have to spend some amount of gold on top of that to expand the item storage. Material storage will work pretty much the same as it does for players as well. You'll buy new tabs.
Yeah, me too, Triple Killer.
But you
It
will
can
have to
ruin the
unlock
game when you
those
get too
through the
much of
skill
it, for
tree
sure.
and then spend gold on them. The material tabs will function, like I said, pretty much the same as players, where you can specialize them for different types of materials. And then once we start adding features like patron guilds and guild housing and stuff like that,
What's a patron guild?
You'll get additional storage through there as well.
Absolutely. Very cool. Very exciting.
Oh, and then in the future, you'll be able to relocate a material tab, right? So if your tab is empty, your guild leader can close it out, get the tab points back, and then move it elsewhere if you want it.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
And I know folks are curious about the guild housing and freeholds and how they'll play a role in everything. I don't know if you want to talk further about that.
It more just you'll be able to craft and make furnitures that will, give you access points to storage and give you additional, storage capabilities as you decorate those spaces with those things.
Yeah, and guild baronies and castles will offer their own material tabs and item storages as well, which is cool. So I know folks are excited about that stuff as we move further. And of course, as you're keeping everything transparent, you want to make sure that you can see a full transaction ledger. That is something that we want to have down the line.
Oh, transaction ledger.
The timestamp, which player.
This is what Dune does not have. It was very frustrating.
From which node and
we would have so much go missing out of Dune boxes.
Something that people are very wanting on a high level.
I hated that so much when I would have a spy in the guild that just ransacked the warehouse and I didn't know, and there's like 5 characters left. You're like, what's happening?
Thank you.
Took it?
Thank you.
No idea.
Now you will know, and or at least when this is implemented, you'll know. And of course, be careful who you give permissions to once those permissions come online. It is very important. CS is not going to help you if you gave that person permission to look at and loot your shit. Like that's on you.
Yep.
And we will have the data to verify it.
Yeah, we'll know that you gave them the permission to do the thing, and now they have access to it. So if someone finds a bug around that, then that's
so good.
Then
and then you can see who's contributing as well.
And with that, we have made it through.
Oh my God.
Wow. That was a big one.
It was going to be long.
This is our longest stream yet. 2.5.
Wow. All right. So we got through that as well. So what did we catch up on? So we had the anvils. We know a bit about the anvils. I didn't realize there was two starting areas in the anvils, which is good to know. We've got the races obviously coming. We know about them. The economy and the stat changes. Fantastic. We read up on them yesterday. The crate system. We also saw that yesterday to determine, okay, well, there's other ways of delivering resources. And then we've got the nodes, PvP, and guild system that we just touched. Oh, man. Welcome. Look at that thing. Space old man. So, for the people that haven't seen this yet already, and greetings. From what planet we're coming from, old man? If you weren't here at the beginning, and this is the news that I really wanted to share, is let's go back to news. So a few of you who have stuck around for the last, how long have we been streaming for? The last 2 hours. You've already heard this, so thank you. Yes, was this page? So yesterday in our stream, we went over the vendors and the quest rewards and stuff like that. And yesterday, in this sentence, it says that in general, roughly 4 hours of mob grinding should yield comparable gear progression to 4 hours of crafting. So very clearly, it says it there. roughly 4 hours of mob grinding should yield comparable gear progression to 4 hours of crafting. However, you'll give it a go. Oh man, it changed since we streamed this yesterday. So unless they saw me reading this yesterday and said, oh shit, we have to change this, it has now changed. In less than 24 hours, it has gone from 4 hours to 4 hours to, and it's only by coincidence I noticed this, to keep crafting at the center of gear progression, gear drop rates for enemies have substantially been lowered. In general, players can expect that roughly 1 hour of crafting will yield comparable progression compared to 7 hours of mob grinding. So there again, for you, Lord Scar, and you, old man, crafting is far more viable. Yes, well, that's even 100% better for you. 100% better for you. What that means exactly, because we were tossing up and turning before, does that including the gathering and the processing and stuff like that, or is it the craft itself? he might have to change, old man. He might have to change. But yes, so there you go. So I think that, old man, hopefully that brings you in. So, old man, does that mean I'll add you to the list? I'll add you to the guild list. And we'll get you in. So yeah, so that was the big news from yesterday that we read that that had completely changed. That I thought that was wild. That was a massive one. So last thing, where were we? I want to go to the forums. P3 in the Artisan phase, P1 and P2 was all about drama and PvP mob grinding. You're not wrong. The politics. That was one thing that I noticed about Ashes of Creation is the amount of bloody politics that come out. The amount of bitching and carrying on between guilds was insane. It was pretty funny, to be honest. It was pretty funny to see some of them. They really got wrapped up into it. And it ended up being like Days of Our Lives or Bold and the Beautiful. We should have started a series. We might even start. Who knows? It'll take a lot of work. But you could have weekly update. And you use the whole Bold and the Beautiful, Real Housewives of Vera. Shouldn't we do that, Triple Killer? I think it's a good idea. It's just a matter of you need to get time to go do it and the motivation to continue it. But I think it would actually be pretty funny. Oh, yeah, we might do it. We'll think about it. I think he's driving for guild drama. Yes and no. He made a very clear statement in regards to what his game is and isn't. And there's a lot of, let's just say, majority of the guild drama is revolving around the guilds that focus on PvP. I think, I don't know, is it PvP that just brings those type of people out? But yeah, you'll notice pretty much 9 times out of 10, it's those guilds that pull that drama. But Stephen had just said that his game is not a PvP specific game. His game is designed for PvX. So if you want PvP only, then the Ashes of the Creation is not the game for them. And he made it very, very clear. But yeah, it's pretty funny. Well, the PvP, it ended up getting to the mayors. When we first started, we only had 5 nodes, so you can only have 5 mayors. Where now there's like 29 nodes, so the mayors, they're going to get spread out across the realm. And it is interesting. It is very interesting. But what have they got? What are we missing on the forums? Actually, you know what's on the forums that we haven't touched? Because I'm pretty sure there was a guild. There was a guild section. I haven't posted in it for a very long time. So we are recruiting. I just need to go make sure the forum categories. Let's go to categories, if categories want to pop up at all. There's a creation. I'm sure there's a guild forum. Let's just type guild. Oh, wrong bloody thing. I typed it in my chat, the other thing. PVC is the best because you can force PVEs. Oh, C. Do you mean X? Arrow, do you mean X? Alcivar, hey, buddy. Did I kickstart it? No, I didn't. I purchased this 2 years ago, I think. Was there a guild system? 23 July. Look, this guy's looking for an RP guild if anyone wants RP. 2021. I'm sure there's either way. I'll find that another time. But let's go to discussions. Let's see what's happening. Let's see what's happening in the world. I'll probably have to sign in. Welcome rule support. So these are announcements. When were they? Economy and stat rebalance, dev discussion, archetype vibe check, time equals money. That one's closed. Oh, it started, but it closed pretty quickly. Maybe they weren't ready for that one. Introducing the Intrepid Studio Content Creator Program. Is this new? Better have a check this one out. When did this one come in? Is this the original one that came back in 2021? Ah, yeah, this is the old one. This is the old one. I reckon they'll relaunch this one. But who we got here? Who's up the top here? 2024. How's this up the top? Did the dates change? Nah, must have changed. Must have changed. Either way, I'll look at that one later. I'll look at that one later. That's something I do offline. Is he still applying? Oh, there I am. Yeah, anyway, we'll check that out later. Yeah, well, so I definitely am on the Discord. What's the requirement? I'm not sure for the content creator. So there hasn't been a content. I'm just surprised it says August 12. Because this is something people have been asking about for a long time, but they haven't put any effort into this yet, old man. Mage to my summoner once it comes out. Vasmar, no, there's not. The easiest way is just have a friend. Must be a plumber. Yeah, no, just have a friend. You transfer it to them and they'll transfer it back to you. That's what I've done for other guild members. June development update, live stream discussion thread. Oh, look, this guy is advertising here. Their guilds. They're smashing it. Or EU guilds. I think that the main discussion board's looking terrible, so I think we'll stick to the ones that are pinned. I'm a big fan of this stat rebalance, hey. Let's see if they updated what they put on the website today. Oh, this guy's done a complete summary of different games. Wow. That is effort. The guy that did this has put a lot of effort into this. We'll quickly do a quick summary of this one because I'm actually interested. So I like the intent of most things, but still have nearly no love for the implementation. And I fear that the new one overcomplicates things for customers, which in my experience always makes system worse. I'd like to take the chance to echo a sentiment. I've seen around the game might need some in-game information repository, even if it is only a node of what drops what, because if you don't have it, you end up with a terrible MMORPG fate. I don't think this guy has actually been. Has anyone told him about Ash's Codex? Because not being able to communicate is to be the player base and then leaving Legacy craft because of that. So what aspects of the current crafting system do I like or dislike? Things I like compared to I like the effort being put in to ensure the crafters have continual reasons to craft, even when it's gear. I like the effort being made to have a different tier of gear relative to open world drops. Oh, Bunny Cool, what are you doing to me? Loser glasses. Someone's saving up their bloody channel points. I can still read, Bunny Cool. Don't you worry about that. Just a question. If people play the game for years in alpha, they would only stay with it for PvP, or, I mean, nothing much else is there for them to experience after release. Or am I wrong? Or, sorry, the glasses are killing me. Or are there any other fun time consuming mechanics? Zoom in. No, I've got stigmatism, so it's not short or long side. It doesn't work that way, Bunny Cool. Ragnar, there's definitely a lot of content in the game. Definitely, it's not just PvP. 100% not PvP. So from the start, you can level up through experiences. There's pocket dungeons, there's bigger dungeons, there's exploration, there's the crafting, getting in the boats, your mounts, all the different artisan ships, animal husbandry and stuff like that. And then I guess the end game for alpha right now. So if you're getting into alpha, now hopefully it doesn't go for years to come, is the obviously the what's the word? Your best gear essentially. So how do you get your better gear? And that itself is a bit of a grind. So you need to go essentially right around the world to find the resources you need, because it won't be in one little section. And then you can contribute to your node. So a node is forever evolving. It does need to stay on top of things. You can join in on node wars and stuff like that. Or you can essentially just be a participator in that node to ensure that your node stays afloat. And that's through the crafting, the dungeons and pocket dungeons, the quests. So the mayor gives node specific quests out, and those quests contribute to maintaining the node. So there's definitely a lot there, Ragnar, if you want to maintain that. And then from the PvP side, you can definitely contribute to wars and stuff like that to continue. But it's rotating. So people need to be on top of their game to ensure their node or their guild is always on top. There's a lot of work to do that. So yeah. So in other words, there's still plenty to do. But the game for years in an alpha, I don't think it will be in years. So we got the game in October, I think it was last year. So obviously we're coming up to October soon, but that was on the roadmap. So I'm guessing this alpha should finish. My guess, it will finish next year, early next year, and hopefully go into a beta, and we'll see what the beta brings. But at the same time, some people more than happy to sit back, wait for release, and get that thrill for themselves for the first time. And that I'll be jealous of, because I couldn't help myself. I had to get the game. I had to try it. But the people that are waiting and have the patience and ability to go, I'll just buy it when the game comes. When they get into it for the first time, I am jealous that I won't get that same excitement that they're going to get, because they're going to be opened up to a world they have no idea the size of. So that I think is going to definitely be a positive. I can't see a thing, fucking Bunny Cool. So I'm trying to understand. So I'm just reading this guy's perspective, and I think he spent a lot of time. So I'm trying to wipe my eyes, like it's going to make things better. What aspects of the current crafting system do you like or dislike? And how's he comparing it? So like Minecraft, I like the effort being made to have different tiers of gear relative to open world drops. But then he goes, for Minecraft, I don't like the pathway that leads to less integration and over-reliance on non-intuitive, low discoverability information. Oh, wow. Yeah, we're not reading this. I'm glad going back on, Bunny Cool. No server will look the same. The city is themed military, science, religion, etc. Religion nodes are said to be able to unlock a specific dungeon only available from in the city. If it's the other continent, it's going to take you months to get to the point to get there. If no religion city levels to get to the dungeon, then it'll never be seen until someone decides to siege another day. Yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it? That's the cool shit that's happening. That's 100% the cool shit that's happening. This guy has spent so much time. Like, credit to the guy. He's put in some effort. I think I kept it under 2,500 words. I hope that this was somehow close to what you're all looking for. Jesus. I'm confused. When this post was announced in Discord, it was accompanied by a link to an article on the main Ashes website, which lays out the rebalancing plan that you're referring to. Without that context, people won't be able to give relevant feedback. Was this a mistake? I don't know. I think I'm going down a rabbit hole even looking at these forums. Look, I read the article, but it seems like mostly just basic boilerplate. Even still, I can't say that I like what I see. But as a result, I'm not really sure how to give useful feedback at the moment. Why write anything at all? Perhaps this. You must understand that crafters and adventurers serve different purposes with an economic structure. If you do not, you will eliminate the difference and remove the need for crafters altogether, whether you intend to or not. Fucking hell, that made no sense. He's honest. The forum didn't say, hey, can I get your honest opinion of whatever you think? But anyway, I think it'll be good to see. It'll be good to see. So we went through this yesterday, and we covered off most of it. So it'll be good to see how the Initiate, the Adept, and the Radiant go. You feel bad, but you don't know why. That's it. Look, I think, to be honest, if you go through any of these forums, and what I'm noting down now, there's here it is, guild recruitment. OC guild recruitment. Hey, we're still there. Bloody amnesty up top, August 17th, bloody 2 days ago. They're all over it. Guardians of Vera, Nocturnal, Project Anvil, Shipwrecked. I heard they're pretty good. I heard they are a very good guild, this one, if anyone wants to know. Amazing guild. What else we got? I wonder if any of these guilds even still exist. So, like, right down the bottom, when the guild, like this guy, exhausted, put a post up in 2019. Are they still covered? Oh, bash you hard. Thank you very much. You remember Twilight Embers? Yeah, they didn't last. They're gone now, aren't they? They're gone. If I guess the ones up here, they're still probably active. Casual Conspiracy. I remember seeing them, but I don't remember seeing much of them. Redacted. Yeah, no, I think there's some good intent there. Whether they come back or not, that's another story. Always good seeing shipwrecked at the crafting stations. You're always gonna find a shipwrecked person at a crafting station. I'll tell you now. I tell you right now. Well, so we've covered off. I'm not even going to touch the forums. I thought that was going to be a good idea, but now that I'm looking at the forums, I think that was a terrible idea. Terrible idea. So let's go back. I'm going to go into here. We're going to go to videos. We want to know about the summoner, don't we? We want to know about the summoner.
Used to, but I'm excited.
Yeah, today's focus is kind of power, performance.
So where's the summoner? Reminders, community feedback and bugs, where do they go? Summoner pet system design, economy revamp, more economy stuff, Unreal Engine updates, cheats and prevention, and live QA. All right, let's go to summoner. We don't necessarily want to see the pet system design, but we don't know about the summoner, don't we? Oh, forums can go nuts. One thing I've learned, Reddit, for example. I don't use Reddit. I thought it might be a good idea just jump on Reddit and we can, see a few bits and pieces on Reddit. I've never realized how bad Reddit is. Like, you can't post a thing on there without anyone saying, disagreeing whatever you said. Like, oh, it's a beautiful day today. Someone will come back. Oh, you're what's wrong with you? Go see a doctor. Burn your eyes out. Something stupid like that. It's Reddit is not a place to go to get information. Reddit is just to go to have a bitch. Big Red Jet, my friend. Thank you very much. Welcome in. Welcome in. So just quick reminder. They just reminded me. That's a reminder. We are giving away a copy of Ashes of the Creation. If you want to win a copy, all you have to do is type exclamation ticket, and that will buy a ticket in the draw. You can buy more than one ticket by using channel points, essentially. So the longer you watch, the more points you accumulate, the more tickets you can buy. If you want to know how many points you got, it's just exclamation mark points. No, thank you. Veteran, you'd love it, my friend. You'd love it. Yes, you can accumulate points, and you can buy more tickets in the draw. The day before launch, we'll give the key away, but we'll have multiple throughout this week. And then we'll also have the starting week of Ashes as well. So if you want to get in the draw and make sure you win one of them, or if you want to give it to a friend, that is completely up to you as well. Make sure you get in the draw, and we can get them away. Contrarian Paradise. All right, let's get into the summoner. Let's find out what's happening with this summoner. Where was the summoner gone?
Hey everyone, we are back. We're going to be talking about the summoner pet system design and a little bit about the summoner as well. I'm with a whole slew of new folks as well, some who you've seen, some who are going to be new faces. So we'll do a little introduction round. We'll start with you, Trad, since people have seen you before on some of our other development videos. So if you want to kick us off, and then Adam, if you'll introduce yourself, and then Natalie after that.
Sure. Yeah, I'm Trad. I've been on a few of these, although not usually on camera. So hello.
You were on camera, and we did
maybe once. Yeah. I think there's been one.
The high quality camera.
I think people probably know me a little better by my game handle Dread. Yeah, I'm a combat designer on this project. I've been involved with the class design pretty heavily since the beginning.
Good luck, my friend. Hey, Marty.
I'm excited to speak
47
about our 8th and final archetype, the summoner.
So is your
primary
gamer
archetype?
Is your gamer tag Dread? Is that from Judge Dredd, or what's the history there?
No, I used to my original character was named Dreadnought, and eventually everybody called me Dread as like a short thing, and it just kind of turned into that.
That's like me. Everyone calls me Fire. Even though my name's Fire Players. Hey, Fire.
Trad and Edgelord? I don't know. All right, Adam, if you want to introduce yourself. You're new here. People haven't seen you. What do you do? Who are you?
Hi, everyone. So I am a combat designer on the team. I have my hands in many pots. I do a lot of like supplemental systems for the combat team, stamina and weapons, some of the newer weapons among them. When Steven talks about embracing the suck, I think both of those systems come to mind. We're actually actively talking about those. So, if you do have feedback that you've been sitting on for those, definitely interested in seeing what you've got. I have been a summoner player, a pet player for the last 20. How long is since EverQuest? Like 26 years now.
Oh my God.
So it's a archetype that is near and dear to my heart. Definitely something that I'm going to main. And my role with the summoner archetype on Ashes is to assist with staging the pets.
Love it.
Awesome. And then Natalie.
So was EverQuest I'm sorry, just real quick. Was EverQuest your favorite summoner iteration?
No, not by a long shot, actually. Jeez. My favorite.
No,
okay.
Bill, earmuffs, Bill. No, sorry.
No, okay. In fairness, I did swap.
We have a lot of EQ designers actually.
Right, I started as an enchanter. I swapped over to a mage, so like I did love the summoner there. But no, my favorite is actually the metaphysicist in Anarchy Online, being able to control
Anarchy Online. Jesus,
all at the same time.
Talk about old.
One heal, one crowd control. Phenomenal.
Super micromanagement hell. Love it.
All right, now Natalie.
Okay. I am Natalie. I work on all the concept work that
we're getting to a lot of introductions. We're not talking about
a lot of it
archetypes yet.
See, like daylight because it's more like for internal use. But some of the work that you'll see like in the game is like most of what you get on like the hotbar.
I wonder what the summoner's going to look like. Is it a human?
The portraits that you'll see like on the website too.
Is it a monster-looking dude?
Some of those.
Natalie, you say a lot of it we don't see it in game, but in reality, the concept work that doesn't make it to game is foundational to a lot of other work that does make it in game. So,
The
Natalie
heart's
is,
there.
yeah, exactly. That's right. Yeah.
You just share that with my team now.
That looks cool. Whatever that is, that looks cool.
We're
right.
chomping at the bits. Any assets we can get, we'll take.
Well, and specifically, like, those of you who love our class iconography, or
That'd be
who
cool
love
if
some
you're
of
the summoner and you can
class,
turn into something like that.
ability icons, or some of the artwork on the website around
or
specific
emotes.
or the
Nat has
Oh,
made some
those two.
emotes.
Natalie.
It is all Nat's work as well.
So I'm moving forward. I want to find out about
So,
summoner.
As people know from the wiki, the summoner is going to be the most versatile, flexible of our archetypes in terms of.
Oh yeah, good
evil
point, Triple
affinity.
Killer.
They will be capable of tanking, dealing damage, and even healing. Mostly that variation is going to be through their pet. So depending on the kind of pet they have summoned, if they have their tank pet out, they'll be better at tanking, obviously. So on. And so
Oh.
forth. But before we go into the pet stuff, we could actually talk about the summoner kit itself, because our summoner is not going to be just the pet, right? It's not like you're only controlling your pet and that's all you're doing. They're going to have their own kit as well. And the summoner itself is going to be a bit more of a caster type. So you could kind of expect similar-ish to like a mage, but also, still pretty different. I know there's been a leak of some of the abilities I saw last night. I was kind of looking around, so
Has it?
I can
Which
confirm.
abilities?
I can confirm a few of those. You saw like a dot in the kit. You'll probably see a little more of the dot
Yeah,
and
dots are
channel
strong.
type of abilities in this kit than some of the others.
Dots are great for PvE.
But that's
PvP.
not to say that they're just a dot class. Like they'll have your typical direct damage and stuff like that as well.
One thing I don't think I've seen yet, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm wrong most of the time, but is there a strong dot class in Ashes of Creation right now? Like, I know we've got the bleeds and the wounds and all those other bits and pieces, but compared to other MMOs, where you'll make a dot build, essentially. You go in, you're smashing with your dots, you get out. I don't recall a strong dot build. Now, but it's not like Warlock. Hey, fill my pipe. How you going, buddy? Yeah, I can't think of a strong dot build where someone's run away and they've died to a dot. Where it'll be interesting. Maybe the summoner's got a stronger dot build.
A lot of the abilities, they do interact directly with their pet. So, for example, you can kind of think of the summoner and their pet as a machine that is cycling health back and forth. If you want to heal the pet, you can, or if you want your pet to heal you, you can take some health from the pet and heal yourself. You can share damage.
So do you think you're gonna be squishy?
Between you and the pet, so that it can absorb some damage for you.
The transfer pain. I know there's a lot of fans of that.
Exactly. Even use your pet as like sort of a beacon for you fire a bolt at it and then it causes a PvE around the pet, stuff like that. So a lot of interaction and synergy between the pet, but also just
it'll be interesting how it goes.
Do on their own, so that they're not completely reliant on their pets.
And one thing to note, Trad, as you kind of talk about these base abilities from an archetype perspective, a lot of times people forget that we have a secondary class system that is not yet in the game. And that leaves us a lot of room to really specialize these base archetypes in certain directions. So what you just kind of described as core functionality behind these abilities has a lot of opportunity to change when that class specialization happens, so that we can see a different expression across those 8 different classes within the archetype.
Yep.
Yeah.
You also had on here, I don't know if you wanted to talk more about them as well, Trad, but the teleportation abilities, buffing, and CCs as well.
Sure, yeah.
Teleportation, buffing, and CC.
There's be quite a bit of utility in the Summoner's Kit. And part of that is like teleportation. They can teleport not only themselves, but they can teleport their pets. And even down the road, even like some ways of teleporting your party.
Oh, wow.
So, mobility that extends beyond just the caster themselves. Yeah, and then I think we already talked about like the dots and stuff. One thing you'll see on the summoner is dispelling of buffs. So, for example, the cleric, you've seen cleansing of debuffs. And I know the bard has a little bit of dispelling, but the summoner will have.
It's good that the summoner's getting this.
Buffs off of enemies.
Yes, for those of you who know some references, perhaps where that came from, a cancel mechanic, right, to remove the buffs of enemies that might be opposing you in both PvP combat or in PvE. I love that functionality on a class. I think it's super cool to disable other players and/or PvE targets.
Yep. And then of course you'll see some.
I think
various
one thing in that
CCs.
though, one thing in Ashes I don't think is very clear, and I think they've done a little bit of work on it, is knowing if a buff is on a player. I've always found that hard to go, okay, what buff, because I actually don't know what's on me. So just testing, say, okay, what buffs are on me versus what buffs aren't on me. You do? You've done it a few times before, fill my pipe.
In the caster kit as well, like silences, roots, even a stun. So they will be fairly capable of controlling opponents.
All right. Well,
So
let's move into.
could we say, without going through all the summoner just yet, the summoner's primary role is CC? Would you say? Would you say it's as essentially the taking the buffs away? He's got some stuns. Oh shit! Do we have a strong stun already? Who's got a strong stun? I think the fighter had a pretty decent stun. Trying to think who else had a decent stun. The mage has the ice ability, I think it was. It was a decent stun. Trip's not bad. Playing as a tank, Trip works quite well for me. Trip is very good. Root not a stun on mage. Oh, is it? Is Root? No, I was thinking the ice one. Is that one? And then I guess the Ranger has something. Ranger had that web thing. Frozen, is that it? Tank, off heal, off DPS. Cleansing, off tank, off heal, off DPS. Yeah, that'd be CC support, you reckon? Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much damage they do. But I think you're right. Similar to what we thought the Bard may have been, is, yeah, they're a support, but not in the healing sense. So the Summoner could really strategically change the course of a battle, I think. A Summoner could... Because what the Summoner gives are those... It's not a clear action. Like, just say a fighter, they're going to hit you with the sword. You know, you're going to get hit. Very clear. But with the Summoner, it's not necessarily clear. Because what are they going to come in with? I thought it was a root. So yeah, I think the Summoner definitely has a decent place. But is it a class that you're going to want to play? That's the question. Because you don't hit as hard. You're playing from you're a caster, so you're playing at range. But you are so micromanaging your pet. So I think your pet gets in there and causes havoc. I'm just trying to think of the strategies and the way the combinations would work between a Summoner and the rest of your group when it comes to fighting.
The pet. What is the pet control system like? What can people expect from
I'd
that?
like to
I
see
think
the user
there's been
interface.
A lot of discussion in the community in regards to like, how is it going to work? And obviously, some of us have used pet systems in the past and other games, and it's been a little chaotic. So what are we doing to combat maybe some of that as well?
Get in quick.
So the pet control system, it is going to be a little bit closer probably to like what players are used to in some traditional MMOs. I think we all have an appreciation for that pet as a separate, distinct entity and the ability to actually control and manipulate it as a distinct entity.
What I want to know,
you'll have your typical attack, command, follow. You can put a pet.
Because I was a hunter. I was in WoW, so I liked running the pet for sure. The pet felt very nice in WoW. Let's go back. Because the pet that I got in the pack that I got, come on, where are we? Get back. Can we just go to Ashes of Creation website? Shop. The pet that I got, the Sanguine Siphoner pet cosmetic skin. So the question is, do I have to be a summoner before I can use this skin? That's my question. Interesting. Back to where we were. Sorry, I had to had to sidetrack there. We need sound control pet. Give him orders to Mike. We need. What do you think of
As Shred mentioned, there are a lot of abilities that the summoner is going to have that will actually work through the pet.
What's the word I'm thinking of?
To manipulate your pet's
Open world
position and
voice. Essentially, when you can
command
talk
it into those places
talking
is going to
game.
be very important. You'll also have stances, so you'll be able to set your pet, to whether you want it to be aggressive and attack everything within its radius, whether you want it to be defensive and respond to things that are aggressive towards it or yourself.
I wonder what the
or
respawn
if you
time
wanna
is
have
on a
full
pet
manual
as
control
well.
over it and make sure that it doesn't attack anything unless you
And
actually want to let
before
it do
the
so.
pet aggroes everything and trains
Right.
your party.
Right. Beyond that, we also, so I do want to clarify a couple things. One, so we do plan to have the ability to put pet actions both on your primary hotbar as well as maintain a separate pet action bar. The separate pet action bar may not be in the initial phase of Summoner, but it is something that we plan to add down the road if we can't get it in early on. And that is also true for being able to manually control individual pet abilities. So, if you want to say, hey, use your heal, not confirming whether or not, I mean, I guess I can confirm that yes, one of the pet's going to have a heal.
Dickhead.
You can command it, to use a heal when you want it, or you can actually, again, future state, but we'll be able to set it to auto heal, and we'll be adding some logic behind that. So, it's not just using that on cooldown, but it's going to use that intelligently based on whether you or a party member are at, a certain health threshold.
Now, is it intended that the player, the pet summoner, has the ability to toggle that auto heal on a threshold that they set?
That's true, Triple Killer. But would it tone it down? Like, would the toxicity go out quickly?
I don't
know. I didn't mind it in New World. It worked in New World.
Oh my god, I'm going to completely blank on the name, but they had a system where you could literally set the logic. I don't know if we're going to go that far, but it's certainly a dream of mine, so who knows?
All right, very cool.
Awesome.
Love that he gave it away that it's got a heal.
Question from
and he also gave it away that's a party heal. It's not a single heal. You can heal your party.
With the Summoner having such a diverse kit, how do we plan on balancing for that and not making them better than other archetypes or at their role versus those roles?
Good question.
I mean, I think we have to do that even beyond the Summoner, right? Like we have to do that for archetypes that are all DPS. We have four DPS archetypes in the game 5. We have to balance all those as well. So I think that it would probably be pretty difficult for a summoner that is specialized as tank to be as good as a hyper specialized tank archetype. But they can serve as like an off tank. The thing about the summoners that they are more flexible, so they can more readily fill roles as needed as a hybrid.
Yeah, it's there are different classifications.
It's like a stance. You pick a stance,
right? The summoner is definitely the more hybrid archetype design. So what that means is, as with all balancing approaches, right? The idea is for an Ashes that this rock paper scissors design, there may be areas where certain archetypes are better than others. That's the intent. We need to make sure that where they're better and where they're worse fits to our role design guidelines that we want these archetypes to fulfill when it comes to group-based dynamics. And that's how we approach our balance, is around groups.
And we also have talked about limiting some of that flexibility, right? Where you may not be able to have as strong of a pet or be able to summon a pet.
We're literally going to have a world of summoners. We know this right away.
Between those roles may be limited.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of those, what are the number of active summons, and what are the management limitations to your pet?
Yeah. So the base summoner, if we assume no classes, they're going to have one active pet at a time. So you'll be able to choose between, we've got 3 pets planned. We have the Guardian, the Hunter, and the Mystic. That being said, we do want to support multiple pets in the class kits, whether that's being able to maintain more than one primary pet or having a number of smaller pets.
That'd be wild.
So we are developing our tech with that in mind. We do need to evaluate some of the performance considerations. When we're talking about an army of skeletons in a siege situation of multiple hundreds of players, and on that
minions,
hundreds of skeletons, that's a TBD. But that being said, it is something that we want to support in the class space. And so We are also considering some smaller pets that aren't distinct summons. So an example here would be, if you have the hunter pet, that's not necessarily going to become, from go from summon hunter to summon skeleton army, but it may be, summon a skeleton commander, and then you have individual, skeleton pets that get summoned
I
through
know
augments or
PoE.
some
I
other
think it's
components of
PoE.
that class kit, and then
You have a
that
choice of
commander
what
may
type
have
of
an ability
skeletons
to
you
command
pull.
those smaller pets onto a target.
Or the brood mother, as an example, right? I don't know, little
Yeah,
maybe spiderlings or something.
Yep, that one is near and dear to my heart right now.
All the arachnophobes are like,
I don't even like insects. I don't like spiders. Like I can't be near them. I can't kill them myself, but I love working with them. So
Jesus.
And you had mentioned the names.
So if
of
you're
the
playing,
three
your
different
class feels like
base,
it's lagging behind. It's because
base
your class
summons.
is
The
more
first
heavily
one
based
being the
around group
Guardian.
play.
I know there was a lot of desire from the
Ah,
community to
yeah,
have
that's a good
Guardian
point.
name in the
So
game,
tank,
and we now
dribble
have
killer,
that
tank,
with
no,
the-
there
number
wasn't
one.
tank to be named
No,
Guardian,
what are you
Steven.
talking about? What? No, there was a lot of people
Yes.
really loving this Guardian name, and we decided to put it on the summon. So now there are those of you who want to play a Guardian. We now have a Guardian pet summon. So this is super exciting.
And then there were questions. I mean, you kind of touched on this, but to be more specific and really ask the question, are those the only 3 pets that the summoner will have?
those are the 3 pets that the base summoner will have.
There you go.
Once you get into the realm of classes, I mentioned a skeleton, right?
Mm.
So how's that going to happen? TBT, or rather, you will see. We know how.
Yes.
But you don't.
You talked about the smaller pets, but did you want to talk about how the multi pets is something that you guys are talking about?
Yeah. So this kind of comes back to, we don't have a timeline right now on like whether or not we're going to have those pet hotbars in place for the first release of Summoner. And I think those individual pet hotbars are kind of a dependency for being able to control multiple pets. Otherwise, it gets into some messy issues of inheritance in terms of how the abilities on your personal hotbars work.
So the summoner that pops
That
out
being
might not
said,
necessarily be
our
the summoner we
engineer, Zach,
get.
who's been working on the Summoner on the tech side. He's been demoing with a skeleton army. I know Necromancer is near and dear to his heart.
Wow.
So the tech supports it, and we just have to get to the point where we can actually
On the 26th.
All right, now I'm going to
Fill my pipe on the
Natalie, and then
26th.
I'll come back to you, Trad, in a moment here, and Adam. Can you talk a little bit about the concept art, like how you guys got to where you are with this art that people are looking at, and like what they can expect?
Yeah,
from a
some
visual
classes can level much quicker,
as, like, they
way quicker
progress
solo.
with their summoner.
This one definitely went through a few avenues. We started. Yeah, you're laughing.
Just a few.
just a few.
So where are you going to go for this
started with the
one? Fill
idea
my pipe.
that the summoner could
Where are you going to be?
possibly summon
26.
from like each of the planes, like the celestial, the material, and then the void. But we didn't really want the players having access to what's really in the void. But it's not impossible.
In the void.
Some of the concepts that were
Oh,
leaked by
good.
Steven
Oh,
on
good.
Discord. I saw those.
My bad.
You still in the Discord?
That's fine. You'd see like some of them are kind of like taking on a more like evil or malicious or like kind of like warlocky vibe. But then as we started to kind of get the picture together for like how the summoner works, how his magic works, how he kind of uses it to wield.
I thought you were into
when he
Anvil.
summons
Didn't you
himself
fill
and
my
he
pipe?
summons
I thought
them.
you went to Anvil.
A lot of it just comes through the power of is it Vyra? I've never really like said her name.
Yeah, Vyra. Yep.
Vyra. Who is the phoenix herself. So we kind of pushed it more towards this like ethereal ember, like kind of like it's molded together using like essence, and like one of the key words is like it's supposed to be
Okay,
kind of
I'm pretty sure you went to the Anvil.
held
Fill my pipe.
together, but almost like it's just barely being like held together. Like it's taking on a form, but not like a complete one. And the idea is like for the augments is that they'll take on a more like material like presence.
Yeah, I mean, when we kind of started delving into obviously these visuals that Natalie has been so instrumental, obviously, in creating.
What's a good class to be a healer at range? Cleric. Just cleric is just it's a good class. Cleric's a great class.
With the archetype progression
Best healer.
as well, when you start to specialize, these summons become a little bit more finite. They become a little bit more physical. So the initial archetype design for these summons is a bit more ethereal, not quite yet formed within this universe. Obviously everything within the universe that Vera exists in comes from Vyra. She is the primary goddess of creation. That is how everything exists. So these are kind of souls that haven't quite yet formed within Vera. And yet
You can
the
tell
summoner
Stephen
is able to
really
kind
likes
of
creating the
summon
lore
their
behind the
essence, and
he's definitely a
represent
dungeon
some of the more
master. He
primordial powers, energies, and class-defining
you
powers
see
that
that's
they
where the
have
passion comes
available
out.
to them. So the summoner is able to pull
All
those
good.
souls forward even
Well,
before
we've
they
got spots
form within
available, my
Vera.
friend. We've got spots
And
available. If you
then
need,
as you
we've got spots.
specialize and become more focused, those forms become more physical. They become more permanent.
But
They
yes,
become more
26, we're
real and
jumping in.
visible.
Well, it's 27th for
and that is
Australia.
kind of the intent behind the system.
Going to gang up with Steve again.
Right.
He'll be
And
standing
then
there.
kind of wrapping things up here. People kind of want to know, what will the synergy be like with the archetype combinations? And talk a little bit about that.
Real quick, I just want to point out that Lemon Twists in chat had had a very astute observation. They said it's almost as if they're using the ashes of creation.
Yes.
Paranoid, I'm new to the Ashes. Tell me about the Bard. Is it fun?
Sorry, what, Margaret? What was
Paranoid,
the
the Bard is fun. The Bard is very good.
Synergy with
It's a very good class. Can be fun. It's a bit different. It's a different style because you do have a flute or guitar or drum. You pick your instrument. You throw tomatoes, but it has, and you essentially throw musical notes. But it's very powerful.
Like to know both.
Yeah, I mean,
Put 'em out there.
Yeah, I'm with Dengo. You either you love it or you hate it.
Yeah, I mean, like
It can heal, it can do damage. Yeah, it's got is it Mena? So it's a very good class, a class that you need when you're out there looking for groups for the farm for sure.
Synergies will change, especially based on the role of your secondary archetype. Like if you pick the tank as your secondary archetype, you're probably going to flex into your tank pet in terms of what you're augmenting, and so a lot of your caster abilities will interact with that tank pet in a way that enhances
no, it's definitely not an assassin.
Your tanking capabilities. In terms of synergy with other players, again, it's just them fulfilling the Trinity role, right? So if your party needs a tank and you can't find a tank, then it's viable for a summoner to summon their tank pet and fill that role. Until you find a tank, and then maybe your party needs more healing, so you can switch over to your healing pet. So that's kind of the dynamic.
Yeah, and I see a couple of questions in chat.
That's good to know. So you're not the most strongest tank, you're not the most strongest healer, but you can do all three of the classes depending. So which is interesting. But Paranoid, but the Bard, so the Shaman. So if you want a Shaman. I wouldn't say it was a shaman. I guess it depends which game you're talking about from the shaman. But yeah, the Bard, you could say it was like a shaman. It doesn't look like a shaman. But yeah, it's definitely the class. If you go to Ash's website, if you go to Ash's website, go to overview, go to archetypes, and click down on Bard. You can go through and you can see some of the abilities. Watch the little video. It shows you the little dashes and the abilities that they're doing, and how it plays and how it looks. So definitely got melodies, dance, song, story. It's all about the Bard. It's all making the Bard pretty and stuff like that. So go through, have a look what they do. Definitely best way to see it in slow motion. Lullaby, Dark Lullaby. Deals 40 to 8% magical damage to target enemy each second. Scales in power over the course of the cast. This damage will not wake an incapacitated target. The final hit applies stunned if the target is still incapacitated. So, they've got some abilities, synergies there that go well together. Really good, really bad, not only average ones. Last time I was on, I was ganking boats out there and delivered their goods. So easy. Sometimes they had to bring mercenaries to kill me because killing boat took so long solo. Yes, it does take a while. You do need a group when you're killing those boats. No hunting type class at the moment at all. I missed that. Is there any pets now? Oh, yeah, sorry. Not at the moment. So that's why we're looking at the summoner now to understand when the summoner comes, which is meant to be in October. We'll see what we can pick up at that point. Do you play doable? Do I play doable? So I don't know why I struggled to read that one, Wolf. Yes, 100%. A duo is definitely doable. Definitely doable. Needed only 2 people. Yeah, look, the 2 works. It's just from the speed perspective. So by the time they can spawn back, they respawn, run back. If there's only 2 of you, it's obviously going to be a bit harder. Because half know before, you got to kill them again. Yeah, so I think the boats were the easiest to raid at the caravans. Because if you've got a bow, you see them coming, and you just hit them from the boat. Half HP boat. Gotcha. And then you see them swimming over to you, and you just smack them with the arrows. So you definitely always had the upper hand. All right, how long we got? We got 53 to 50. I still have 5 minutes on the summoner.
One from Avild, who talks about, whether it makes sense for a summoner to have resurrect ability. And again, what I said earlier with the class specialization still not yet being available. And
there's a lot to do there, Spaghetti, a lot to do.
There are opportunities where when the summoner chooses cleric as a secondary option, some of the augments might include that ability to resurrect as an augment option. So that's something.
So cleric's the only class that can resurrect at the moment. So that's why it's very important to have a cleric, because you don't want to run back to your body.
What are we talking about today? Right now, we're talking about the designs. We're talking about the work that the design team is putting into and the art teams are putting into creating the summoner. Our goal for the summon is that we will start having some PTR testing available come near around the end of July for this particular archetype and some of the abilities, with the intent to deliver by the start of phase 3 or somewhere there shortly after the start of phase 3. So that's what these guys are working on, and
we'll do a showcase like we've done for the other archetypes.
Hey, Ozzy,
we are at that stage.
Good luck. We've
been getting a lot of questions about something.
Let's book. Hey, thanks, buddy. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome in.
So you guys can think on what that's going to be like. And then the last question here, I have another one as well from the community. Which
good, mate.
Do the summons get their own skill trees, and can they equip gear? Is that something that we're considering?
No gear on summons at the moment.
Yeah.
But,
and then
no intent to have gear on summons either in the future.
And then can or will summons require material from the physical plane to form them, to form their bodies to inhabit? I don't know, basically.
Wow.
Or is it just going to be
that was a deep question, a very deep question just there.
It's cooldown driven. It's cooldown and mana consumption.
Mana and cooldown.
Cool. All right. Well, that kind of gives you a little insight. I'm going to leave you with a little chat prompt before we head over to the economy revamp.
We've done the economy. We've done the economy.
People have a lot of feels.
What I miss? How long are we waiting before we complete at least playable version that has hours of content? Wolf, I reckon it's got it now, to be honest. I think it's definitely got it now, 26. But this is the thing. I guess it's purely perspective. If you... and what you want to play. I think it's got enough content to play. I've had hours and hours of content. But yeah, if you want to wait longer, then wait longer. It's like $50,000. That's true. It's true. Dual spec archetypes is going to make the game crazy when they start implementing them. I doubt we see them dual archetypes until around the time next year. Yeah, I'm thinking the same, Triple Killer. Once they put that dual archetype system in, it is going to be wild. I think finding a combination, a group to put together is going to be pretty good. I think it'll be determining what's the meta, what's the best combination of 8 that you can put together. I'm still on the fence with this one. Just don't want to be let down again. So, Ozzy, so you haven't been in it yet. You haven't seen the game. You haven't jumped in. You played. I think if you want to wait, there's definitely no problem with waiting because you eventually get it one time. But at the same time, if you want to get involved and you want to start playing now, be part of the development and stuff, if that's enjoyable to you, then definitely get it now. Definitely, there's no reason not to get it now. But at the same time, if you're happy playing other games and you want to get later date, then you do that too. But me personally, I'm glad I've got it. I've been enjoying myself, whether it's PvE or PvP, whether it's politics in the game, adventuring, crafting, the game's got it. What it is doing at the moment is obviously balancing it, refining it, building on it, and the world is still massive. So as an alpha, the world that we're getting for phase 3 is huge. Like it takes you at least an hour to run to the other side. I wonder if the pet can swim. It should be, Phil. I'd be very surprised if the pet can't swim. You spent 300 hours. Some are on at thousands. Oh, triple killer. There's some that are on ridiculous numbers. I've got I can't help myself. Legumin, thank you very much, my friend. Welcome in. No, I can't help myself. I jump between games like there's no tomorrow. It's not that I jump between because I don't like a game. It's just I like a lot of games. So you'll see me playing one game one day, but there's some games that hook me, and Ashes of the Creation is one of those ones that have got me. So Ashes of the Creation's on my list. Kingmakers is on my list. I've got Grand Theft Auto's on my list. They're all games. Oh, Chrono Odyssey is on my list, a game that's going to get me. Was there another one recently? They're all big games that have got my attention, and Ashes has had my attention since October, so last year. It's good, and you can play, stop, come back. That's true, and you can just, I guess each iteration is something different as well, isn't it, Mighty? Fighting for Mouse was epic too. What do we do for Fighting for Mouse? Oh, like the Raptors and stuff? I spent like 2,000 for Child's summer camp. So for now, only if I will win tickets somewhere. Oh, all right. Well, hopefully we can. Yeah, your luck is on your side, Bash you hard, bloody. Because if the kids get a summer camp and you've got Ashes, you know what you're doing. We don't have summer camp in Australia, so I don't necessarily know how that works. So Legumin, and this is for everyone. So if you want a copy of Ashes of Creation, I am giving a few copies away. First copy is going out prior to launch. All you have to do is type !ticket, and that will get you in the draw. And you can buy more tickets. So there's a cap of 1,000 tickets. But if you want to buy more tickets, you just watch more, you accumulate more points, and then for every 250 points you accumulate, you can buy another ticket. So it's about 25 minutes of watch time, roughly. You can buy a ticket. I am streaming pretty much every night. I want to say every night just in case something happens, but the goal is to stream every night up to Ashes, so you can have the opportunity. We've been going for, 3 hours now? So you should have an opportunity to get a ticket. Get multiple tickets if you come back each night. So that's the goal. Give you a bit of a reward. So I think, if you want to win a copy, !ticket. Oh, and you can do !ticket plus the number of tickets you want to buy, or what is it? Points. We'll tell you how many points you've got. I got Chrono Odyssey off my list. Oh, you took it off your list, Legumin. You took it off your list. Look, I won't lie. When I first downloaded it, I hated it. I said, "What is this rubbish?" But after I started playing it, I got about 2 hours in. I thought it was fantastic. And now they've pushed it back. They've pushed Chrono Odyssey back a year, Legumin. They've pushed it back a year just to so they can spend more time developing it, which shows that they're listening and they want to get You can see the developer is super passionate about making a really good game. I didn't play, but the beta looked rough compared to Ashes. It did. It was rough. It was very rough. But yeah, once you got past it, it was pretty good. The concept of the game and the way the game works, was very good. Clans were spawn camping when breeders were right. Yes, yeah. So there was a bit of that. Can't wait. Kingmakers should be good. Kingmakers is. I'll have to put Ashes down for a little bit to play Kingmakers. I think that's October. I think it's October sometime. I've got a few games on my list for October. So yeah, so very, very, very busy end of the year, I think, when it comes to games. We've got way too much to play. Not enough time to play them. So what we're going to do, as I said, buy your tickets. Spend your tickets. Have you played it? No Rest for the Wicked. I've got it, I think, on my list. But I'm not playing it. Oh, I haven't. Have I played it? I think I have. Either I'm playing it when the multiplayer comes out. So the co-op. So when you can play with threes, because you can't play it in groups at the moment. But apparently there's an update coming where you can play with 3 or 4 people. So when that comes out, that's probably when I'll play that, Cyril. But yes, so spend your tickets. Make sure !ticket, spend them up. As I said, streaming for the rest of the week. Make sure we get as many tickets in the draw as possible. We are giving multiple tickets or copies away of Ashes of the Creation. Because you can't gift Ashes of the Creation, essentially I need your PayPal. So once you win, I'll send you a message. All you have to do is respond with your PayPal details, and then I'll send you the dollars, the coins, so you can win. So you can win yourself that copy, or win the money to go buy yourself a copy, and you'll go create an account. Team, I'm waiting for the co-op. Yeah, sweet. Ticket, no S, old man, no S. I wish it worked for both. It would save me a lot of problems. And what else? Oh, we are recruiting as well. So if you are looking for a guild, make sure you go jump in the Discord. The link's down below. I know it's been popping up. ! Discord. You can do that too. Jump in the Discord. We'll get you into the guild. We are looking for a capping at 50 people. So there are limited spots. So if you do want to jump in, make sure you come over to the Discord, and we'll get you acquainted, and so you can start getting ready for day one, so we can get the plans and everything running. I like hoarding tickets. You can just type you can type ! Ticket space max, but I don't think it works after you buy a ticket. So old man, you could do you can do ! Ticket 400. But other than that, it is 20 past 10. So we're going to make sure we're keeping up the stamina. Hey, Valakai comes in with 353 tickets. Not a bad effort. Not a bad effort at all. Very good. I didn't want to enter the game. Hey, you never know, old man. You never know. Old man fisherman still. That's him. That's him. All right, guys. Well, 20 past 10. Is there anyone streaming Ashes of Creation right now? Let's have a look. Because if they are, then we can do the old raid. The old raid. Oh. Why is that not working? Ah, that's why. Here we go. Ah. See, I jumped off last night, and there was as soon as I jumped off, someone jumped on and started streaming. So there's no one to raid. Actually, what is there another language? Oh, we can't. No point going to another language. Actually, let me just go over to what's his name? So Ashes Codex, right? So Ashes Codex, the website that we're all going to be using to make sure we know what we're building and so forth. Hey, crazy heads, welcome. We're going to. So Dana is a big supporter. Oh, I think I don't know if he's a supporter, contributor, owner. I don't know how he fits in exactly. But we'll go give Dana a quick raid. He's currently playing the finals. Where is my bloody stream? So we can search. And then we'll be back tomorrow. We're going to smash out some more Ashes stuff. You got any questions or stuff that you want us to go through? Make sure we bring them up tomorrow because we'll go through them. I think we've looked at a lot. I think we know what's coming. I think we're going to start planning from tomorrow to figure out what we want to do and how we're going to do it. I think that's number one. And I think maybe looking at some of the builds as well. I think builds is probably another big one before we jump in. Having that ready saves you from sitting there and trying to plan it out mid-game. I'll sort out PC out tomorrow. I should do a PC giveaway. Do you reckon one day, do you think we should do a PC giveaway? Tell me what you think about that. Other than that, guys, I'll be back tomorrow. Let's start the raid. And I'll see you then. I've got to wait. What do we have to wait? We're going now. 8 seconds. 6 seconds. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. All right, guys. Catch you in the morning. Oh, no, evening. Bye-bye.
Got aliens with humans as the attractions. What? Oh, that sounds great.